in a
Is
bathroom.
it just it's like low bit rate kind of stuff, or?
Yeah, it looks awful. You look terrible.
Right. Oh my god! All right, in the chat.
This is never going to work. Look at the chat.
Okay.
You can't expect people to watch this for
I'm
3
gonna have
hours.
to. All right, so let me. I'm gonna pull up my on my phone. Let me see how bad I look.
Yeah, you don't look good, John.
Okay. I'll take your word for it.
All right, I'm gonna pull up my.
That's weird.
Oh shit!
Was
yeah. See,
wait. Is it just?
It's like it goes
keep
from
stopping and I keep going like. All right. Well.
it's like when you used to watch AOL porn video, and it was pixelated in like frames every 5 seconds. You look terrible.
Well, it looks all right in my. Well, I don't know. I'll take your word for it. So is it not going to work? Should I hop out?
No.
Are you smiling?
No, I'll take a picture. Yes. I'll screenshot a picture right now with my phone.
In the chat, how bad is it? Can you guys tolerate it or what? I know you. We've heard your opinion. What else? What does everybody else think?
Johnny, isolate. Johnny, isolate so Johnny can see this.
What?
Yeah.
Is it just blurry?
Yeah.
Nah, you're like You're like really pixelated.
You're grainy. It looks like you're in a steam room or something.
Okay. Well, I'll try and all right. I'll join you guys in a little bit then. I'll try and restart and see what happens.
Okay.
All right.
Subscribe, please. Please.
Hi.
Please.
Welcome to Straturday Night Live, starring John Biel, who can't be here right now because he's broadcasting from a bunker in Baghdad.
Yeah, he was really pixelated up, man. I don't know.
Yeah. It was like old AOL porn. You know, like when you'd hope you would get something, but it would be like every 3 seconds you'd get a frame change. So I mean, not that you would know, Johnny, because you wouldn't watch AOL.
I wouldn't know.
I know you wouldn't. I know.
I wouldn't know about that. But hey, welcome everybody. Do I have a chat? I can't even. I still have to share all this stuff all over Facebook. So please.
Do I need to stall?
No.
Oh, okay.
Here we go.
All right.
Here we go. But yeah, everybody share these videos on Facebook, Twitter, everywhere, MySpace, wherever you like to share content, share these videos. And welcome. This is Straturday Night Live, John Biel's show. He's restarting. And we got Neanderthal. Here we are. And we have channel members here on YouTube. And the top tier of channel members are the executive producers. And those people are Charles Green, Wayno, Joe Christian, Michael B., Thomas Santiago, Music Therapy Laz, Bent Tom, The Chad, James Gum, David Shigamori, Lenny Lou and Mary, Michael Smith, Randy Price, Stephen Franklin, Dead Halen, Crazy Cook 678, John Moronic, Jim Ray Hawkins, Mike Neese, and Steve Carmichael. That is the top tier of channel membership here on YouTube. If you'd like to become a channel member, click the join button right below the 26 thumbs ups. Thank you so much, you guys. Thank you. And we have any donations to the channel, any super chats will change the color of my lights. It's magic. So if you want to see the Guitar Moire change colors, and look at this, look at that. I we'll talk about some of that right there. Yes. So
I figured out the problem.
Oh, you look much better, man.
All right, good.
It's all that uploading, huh?
That's what it was. Yeah, it was the Dropbox. No, I had a project that I was sending out, so it's all good.
A project.
Yes, a project. No, it was uploading to my Dropbox, so that's what happened.
Yeah, it was burping your system pretty good.
All right, so I'm looking better. Good.
Yeah,
all good. Welcome to Straturday night, Johnny. Continue the.
There you go. No, take over, John. You came in like a fucking ball of fire. Have at it.
What did I miss? Doing the intro stuff.
Johnny attempting to read.
Channel members. You missed channel members. Is this the right one? No,
I love the channel members. Let me see if I can get the chat up and running.
I love them too.
I mean,
is it that one? It's that
so
one.
You both love members, is what
you doesn't.
Channel members.
Yes. We're not going to have a repeat of Tuesday night.
The ones that have their name in green in the chat, they got special emojis they can use. Music Therapy Laz.
Look at that.
Let's start it off by changing to Roxy's color. Music Therapy.
Who's Roxy?
Rox, that's his bird.
Oh.
That's his bird. Hope
I hadn't heard that the bird was the word.
Yeah.
Oh, you hadn't heard?
I thought everybody had heard.
Hope everything's all right, man. What else? We're live on Facebook, Johnny Beane TV Facebook page, where right there we can leave a review.
A review. That's exactly what we want. We absolutely want people to talk about what just a travesty in broadcasting this thing is. Yeah, leave a review. Oh, it's got a solid beat and I can dance to it. I give it a solid 3.
Yeah. Your Aunt Pam says hi.
Hi, Aunt Pam.
Somebody just texted me that their Aunt Pam says hi.
Aunt Pam, hi.
Hello?
Hello, Aunt Pam.
Hey there. Hey there.
Aunt Pam sounds like a band name.
Mm-hmm.
Aunt Pam live at the Radar Room.
I don't have an Aunt Pam, so. Or an Aunt Pam.
Yeah, I know. In New England, it's an Aunt Pam. Yes, an aunt.
We're also live in the Van Halen 1974 to 2020 Facebook group, where we're currently at over 58,000 members.
It says 44,800 right there.
Yeah,
you should probably update your graphic, Johnny.
It's an old thing.
Yeah, you should update your graphic, John. You don't want to undersell those people. They joined. You should count them.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I think all the people in those pictures are still there.
Good.
Probably.
Maybe. I'm a nose hair away from tapping out. I'm just done with it. I'm so tired of it. God, it's worse now since Eddie passed. It really is.
This band has a lot of major fans, man.
No, I don't know that they're fans as much as they are trolls who just love to watch real fans lose their shit when you go in there.
Exactly
that's the easiest thing. Van Halen fans are the easiest people in the world to upset. They just are. They're so super sensitive.
The ones that are
but they're on the internet. They're all on the internet. Every crybaby, snowflake. Jesus Christ, man. We get it. We get it. Sammy, Dave, I know. Yeah, Sammy sucks, Dave sucks, Gary sucks, Eddie sucks, everybody sucks. Now move on.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I've moved on. I don't know. I mean, are you having a hard time moving on?
I'm having a hard time with my feed. Yeah, it's in my fucking feed constantly.
It's entertaining to me.
No. See, that's the thing. If it was creative, it would be great. I mean, at least Caleb tried to start a creative fight group. This one here, these are the same assholes just putting the same stupid shit up.
There's still a lot of quality content there, though.
I want it to be. Look, I love Flame Wars. Look, Black Salami is great at it. You know what I mean? You drop a little grenade in the room, you see if anybody's going to pull the pin or jump on it. But Jesus, if you're going to start shit, at least be creative with it. Give me something new.
Right.
Fuck me. I'm going to drink.
Yeah, so I've got a lot of people in timeout over there, basically.
Yeah, I did see you said I saw your banhammer incoming on one guy the other day. You even gave him warning.
On a daily basis, it seems like this.
Yeah. So I have to approve a lot of, because a lot of those people that post a lot of stuff, they post all day long. So I'm getting the notices to approve their stuff like all the time now. And so I go through it, and if anything looks, if this looks okay, whatever, I'll let it go. But yeah, it's crazy.
Look, I don't mind reading the hate. I really don't. I think it's funny. I love creativity. The internet is the greatest and worst thing that's ever been invented. The great thing about the internet is it gives everybody something to say. The bad thing about the internet is most people have nothing to say. Mm-hmm. But when you get somebody that puts something in there that's really good and really creative, it's almost worth it. It's like listening to the old Opie and Anthony show. It was on for 5 hours, and for 40 minutes of that 5 hours, it was fucking brilliant. Mm-hmm. But was it worth listening to the other 3 hours and 45 minutes to get to it?
Well, certain eras of Howard Stern's the same kind of thing.
Same thing, yeah.
David Scher, hey man,
it's hit or miss. I mean, it's not even hit or miss. It's just they really pack the quality into a little bit of it. But
when you tap a vibrant and fertile vein, it's some of the greatest reading you can come up with.
Yeah, let's say like just now, Renus Pinkle, the guy that plays Renus Pinkle in real life, his post in the group needs approval. So I just got the thing. He just posted something just now.
Yeah, I mean that's got to suck being a moderator for one of those sites.
Well, is he starting trouble or what?
What's his post say?
Yeah, but Renus Pinkle is great.
Being vulgar, That's
Don't forget, Michael Anthony had to have Eddie teach him the bass parts.
Right, exactly. Beautiful. That's a beautiful little. That's a beautiful
should
little.
I let that go?
Let it in there because watch the movies.
Yeah.
Watch the movies.
We want to do it. If we do, we want to do a live, like I let it go, and then we watch and see.
We're gonna live critique.
Yeah. You want to do that, Jay?
Jay's hydrating.
Oh, that sounds good.
He may have cotton mouth. We're not sure.
When Jay gets that drink.
Wow. All right, Renus, I'm going to let that one go, and we're going to see what happens.
He's going to let it go.
He's going to.
How do I do that? Yeah, this will be fun.
Will it?
No, it's not. What are you playing through, Jay?
And it's still in tune.
It sounds good.
Awesome.
Well, I know you're playing through that guitar. What's the what are we listening to?
The Yamaha THR 10X. The 10 Sex, they might as well be calling it. So what did I miss? Mm-hmm. Nothing.
Right.
Nothing.
Damn, Johnny looks like he was out in the sun today.
Yeah, he's a little purple.
I am. It's weird. I actually was in the sun for about an hour, but under the shade. So,
man, you are.
Well, you were either in the sun or you were under the shade because you can't be both.
It's the light. I think. No, it's the light because it's this because I don't look like this. I'm not pink.
Sure.
I see it.
I'm not pregnant. It's just the semen. It makes me look like this for 9 months.
Johnny's going to show us an actual picture.
Yeah. See, I'm not pink.
You still look.
Yeah, you look pretty pink in that too.
Pretty pink.
Fuchsia.
Meh.
Mauve.
That's meh right there.
All right, let's see what happens. Let's let this go and see what happens here.
I think I've seen that argument before, or that quote.
It's every day, man.
Yes, it is
every day. It's the same quotes every day.
Every day.
Well, let's see what they have to say about it tonight.
Yeah, we'll have a live right over there. We'll
give it a few minutes. We'll let it get going, and then
we'll do like a set a timer on it.
Do a look in like they do during the hockey game, so they're looking at another game.
Sure,
Johnny, give it its own window.
Can you do that? Yeah. Give it like although it's so small when it's on Facebook.
That's what she said.
Yes, I can do that.
Never said that.
I can do that. Let me think.
I don't know. It sounds like she said that.
Sure.
Your response indicates that it was said once, at least.
I think
that was never said.
That's a pending post.
That was never said, but other things may have been said.
Okay. All right, I just approved it. So
it's being approved.
There it is. It's approved. It's approved. But
Johnny Beane approved.
Well, I wouldn't.
Johnny wouldn't have approved it unless we told him to.
Add to stream. Okay, there's another me.
Oh, nice.
And then share screen. Chrome tab.
What are you drinking, Jay? Just some.
No, this is
hydrating?
liquid IV stuff.
Okay.
All right, this should end well.
But it's not really its own window. It's the same. It's just the same thing.
You can zoom in though on that? Well, never mind. Just leave it.
You've
We'll
already
see
seen. There's at least one. There's at least one like.
Somebody's laughing. Oh, Lenny Lou's laughing. Executive producer Lenny Lou.
I mean,
now it's.
Do we want to come up with like something that we can really?
Now it's like a work.
Should we come up with something that's? We'll watch this for a little bit, but then we'll see if we can come up with a good.
It's got to be one of those good, stupid, mundane ones that you know is going to get, not like a stupid one that we know is ridiculous, but one that would be enough to like bait people into get. Like, do you remember there was an old website called Baiting BAITING.org.
Really?
No, and it was basically Doug Stanhope, the comedian, and a bunch of other people would put these fake chats, like make fake persona, and go into chat rooms on America Online and basically get people
like
to engage.
Anchors for
kind of the same thing for America Online.
Chatting.
Yeah, it hasn't been updated in years, but I think
there's somebody I follow on TikTok that they create these fake Facebook profiles, and they go into groups and they say, like, they ask questions, and they get people to really respond to them. And not that they're saying stuff that's really mean or bad, but just the stuff they say, it provokes these people to respond to them.
Yeah.
One of the things Stanhope would do was he would pretend to be an underage Filipino girl.
Oh my God.
And then hook all these asshole pedophiles and like get into the conversation with them, and then take a log of the chat, and occasionally somebody would be stupid enough to put a dick pic in the chat and stuff like that, and then he would post them on this baiting site, and the people would be like, that's it, man, I'm going to sue your ass for publishing that. And he's like, sure, that's fine. I'll let the authorities know that you thought you were talking to an 11-year-old Filipino girl, right? And sent your dick pic to them. And it's really funny, but it was like, religion, politics, sex, all of the things. It's some of the most entertaining reading you'll ever find on the internet.
Johnny doesn't like to read, so
well, that's clearly we heard him do the channel members' names earlier. Wayno, hey, that's me.
Wow, 114 people in here.
Hey, say hi in the chat.
You guys.
That's where you're from.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
We're just getting
started. Everybody.
And that's just the first song. Yeah.
Are you having a good time so far?
So far.
So far, one time I say.
That's it. Yes.
And a hush falls over the room.
A hush falls over the crowd. And then a farting chair comes in.
Man.
Hello, Wayno's mama.
Also, any questions in the chat too? You can get this conversation going.
Mm-hmm.
I need more beer.
Who's in the chat? Who do we have? We got 100.
You didn't get to this yet? I'm here too early tonight. That's the problem.
Well, that's why it's your turn, Jay.
No. Well, yeah, I didn't read it last night because Johnny did it. Took it right out from under my feet, which I was happy about. Well, there's not many people. We have 103 watching on YouTube alone, and there's like 15 people in the chat participating. So get with it, everybody. Say something. Say something.
I see Keith Campbell, Ron Edgley, Craig D. Is it Kinder?
Hello.
What are you looking at? Is that
I'm looking at the Johnny Beane TV Facebook. The Facebook page. That's where I'm seeing them.
Oh, okay, Facebook. So I didn't see any of those people. That's why I'm like, what are
Well,
you?
I'll just read the people participating here. We got All Dave All Night. Can't Drive 55 just joined us. Charles Green. Christopher Live Sour. David Alexander. David Scher. Fruitcake Tony. Hey, Tony. Grease Paint. Grease Cheeks and Monkey Brains. Jeannie didn't know what grease cheeks were, but then again, it's probably why, she never pooped her pants. So that's probably why she didn't know what it is.
I don't know what grease cheeks are.
What grease cheeks? Like if you shart real good or real bad, I should say. You get grease cheeks.
Interesting though, because I always thought of grease cheeks, but grease cheeks was like that stuff that isn't quite shart. It's not shart and it's not sweat. It's somewhere in between.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe
it's that.
wrong.
That. No, it's like that mung.
Sweat.
Yeah, sweat.
All right, we're gonna leave off. David I already said that.
Sweat.
Eric, the #1 Van Halen host, our favorite person from Canada.
Eric is here. Hi, Eric.
G. Butchnoff, Grease Cheeks. I already said that. Half Vades, Johnny Beane,
I bet you it's
Rock, Linny Lou, Majestic PB&J Cat.
I bet you it's not really Eric.
Mark Adam Graves, Metal Mike 5150, Miles Taylor, Nightbot, Randy Price, Renus Pinkle, Robot Master Switch. Somebody yell Steve Carmichael, please.
Steve Carmichael.
Thomas Santiago, Tuba, Wayno. What's up, guys? And William De Silva. And E-flat 916 joined. Dad Gad is here. Cheech is here. Keith Campbell is here. And Jim Nicholas is joining us. That's it.
And the rest.
Yes, and the rest.
That was impressive. You even went back and called the ones you didn't call. So that's really good. That was good.
Yeah.
A few comments.
Oh, yeah. Randy Price gets his Frankie back, I believe, tomorrow. He sent me a bunch of pictures last night of the work that Craig from CHS Customs did. Looks pretty good.
Wow. Craig does like all the real finish work now. So, okay, question for you guys. Friend of mine suggested that I send Craig my purple EVH, Ernie Ball EVH, and have him refinish it because the headstock is slightly faded to the rest of the body. Do I have him refinish it or do I leave it natural because that's the guitar?
Yeah, I would say. I mean, unless you
does it bother you?
No, it doesn't bother me at all. But like everybody is like, you should get that refinished. You can
always
get it refinished.
Keep it original.
Like, I want to keep it. I'm one of those guys. Like I rarely change out pickups and shit like that on my guitars. I like to keep them. I bought it for a reason. I like to keep it relatively stock. I'll change, tuners and stuff like that.
Summer stock.
No, leave that to someone else if they want.
Russ Buckingham.
You're a player, Paul. You're not. You're not.
Yeah.
I mean, you always play. You play all your guitars.
Yeah,
right?
I play my guitars. It's
not about the cosmetics.
Yeah, I'm not hanging them on the wall like a piece of art.
Yeah, that's cosmetics is character always. I mean, that's my opinion. I don't know. I definitely wouldn't.
If it bothered you, I would say definitely do it. But if it doesn't bother me, bother you,
you're not Mancuda. Mancuda would probably have that touched up. But
no, here's the thing. I'm using the same logic. I'm using the same logic that like a car collector would. Like if you take a car, I'll use coin collecting. People that collect coins, right? And they get an old coin, and the coin is like all tarnished and shit from years of like. If you take that and you dip it into a solution, and what's it, numismatic something or other, I forget that's what they call it. But they take that, they dip it into like a tarnish remover. It removes the value of the coin or the provenance of the coin. So I kind of don't want to screw with the original finish of the guitar. I mean, they faded. That's part of the reason. That's one of the charms of the Ernie Ball Music Man is that each one of them is different because of the UV protection.
Yeah, I'd leave it.
Yeah. All right.
I don't want to take money out of Craig's pocket, but
yeah, certainly.
Right. As much as Craig does a great job, but yeah, I mean, in this case.
Did you see her scroll up Johnny?
Dane, yeah.
Dane throwing a grenade in there.
Everybody knows Randy Rhoads taught Eddie how to play.
EVH is a hack.
Okay. Everybody knows that?
Well, Dane Zimmerman knows.
Oh.
Just listen to the first two albums. Mike can play, and I don't think I don't think Ed really showed him too much. Ed was worried about his own, learning his own craft at that time. So I don't think he was.
As far as I know, Michael was actually a music student in school, and Ed failed out. So, I mean, he knows what he's doing. He's a jazz bass player.
Mike is a great
Well,
musician.
here's the thing.
And if he couldn't play, he would suck with Chickenfoot and every other band that he plays with, but he doesn't.
And he could always hold his own with Ed. So,
see, listen, Eddie wrote the music, right? So of course he's going to show Michael Anthony.
Sure.
Okay, the riff goes like this. Is that like walking over and grabbing another bass and be like, "Here, Mike. Okay, 5th fret for this part." No, he's just showing him. I mean, that statement is not really that wrong. I think
it's one thing. Look, I mean, anybody that's ever been in a band will tell you this. The guitar players will occasionally say to the bass player, "Hey, this is where I'm going with this. This is what I'd like you to do because this fits in between there." You know, it's rarely
unless you're in the Police.
Right.
Yeah, so he's telling you what to play.
I was just going to say, it's rare that you get a guy like Steve Harris or Billy Sheehan or Sting, who is a guy that, or Chris Squire, who's the lead guy in the band and is writing the music around his bass lines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or sure John Paul Jones, who can do whatever the hell he wants.
Right.
Yeah, so I'm sure.
And John Entwistle,
I'm sure at some parts, Eddie's like, "Hey, Mike, during this part, don't follow what I'm doing. Just write, do the 16ths or something on the
right.
Yeah,
I don't know that. I don't know that a guitar player, any guitar player, showing any bass player a line that he wants in a song that he wrote is a bad thing.
It goes both ways, like we were saying. I mean, a bass player might say it to a guitar player.
It's one thing to say you showed a guy a bass line. It's another thing to have a bass player that can't play, like Motley Crue.
but he writes the music, so who gives a crap?
That's the way. But it's so weird though, because easiest bass lines in the world are Motley Crue and Cliff Williams with AC/DC.
Yeah, AC/DC.
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus Christ, easiest job in music is bass player at AC/DC. By the way, great fucking songs, great bass lines, easy as fuck. Who cares?
Yeah.
Hi, Ellie.
Hey, if it works, if it works for that style of music, it works.
Sure.
You can't argue against it.
You know what, Mr. Hellstorm? Go back and listen to some of those Kiss records. I would refute your assertion regarding Gene Simmons bass lines. Gene Simmons bass lines are remarkably complex for a guy who's not that great a player.
Oh yeah, go back to the early days of any band, and you're gonna get the true.
But yes,
there
you
was
have
always the later parts of the band, like Van Halen, where there were differences and all that. But anyway, sorry.
But Eddie definitely played.
Yeah.
Bass on a lot of that stuff,
especially some of those, certainly the later stuff.
Yeah. And just to what you were saying, like when he's not necessarily teaching Mike how to play, he's suggesting and
showing him how the song goes,
the riff.
Look, if Michael couldn't play bass, he wouldn't have been able to. All those live shows that we've seen, all the bootlegs we've seen, the Live Without a Net video, the Toronto pay-per-view, the Right Here, Right Now. Mike's playing on those, and he's playing pretty good, with the exception of the bass solo. Mike's bass solo is garbage, but we all know what that is.
I love the Sunday afternoon.
It is. It's just a chance for him to be fun. It's not.
I know, but that's the point of that too. Is
right.
Like, it just helped. It fit his personality and stuff like that. It was just a crazy thing. Nobody wanted him to go up there and play a Les Claypool solo.
And that's your point. That's my point. My point is Mike's bass solo wasn't meant to show how proficient Mike is on the bass. It's clear that he can play the bass guitar.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And Kevin Dugan had a lot to do with that, with all the effects and stuff too, which was a big part of it. And as much as people can come down on him because all he did was effects and delay and that kind of stuff. But
to answer Cheech's question,
but it was a show. It was
exactly. He was a showman. He knew what he was doing.
To answer Cheech's question, how could complex bass lines be played by a not so good player? Wouldn't that be a struggle for Gene Simmons? It's interesting because Gene, a lot like the other guys in Kiss, not exactly a schooled musician, so he didn't know what he was doing. It just sounded right. And if it, to quote Eddie Van Halen, if it sounds right, it is right. But then who's the woman that sat down with Gene Simmons? Remember the old woman that was like the virtuoso bass teacher? And she sat down and she gave him a bass lesson, and Gene was like, "Oh shit."
Carol Kay?
Yes, I think so, yeah.
Is that who the
I had no idea. I didn't know what I was doing.
She was the studio bass player for all those.
And
I think that was the Carol Kay. Someone in the chat will correct me if I'm wrong.
Carol Kay.
But did Getty ever do a solo in a show? No, he was too fucking tired from playing bass.
No,
bass
and all
and
of the bass
guitar
lines that he wrote and played
keyboards.
were all solo.
Yeah.
Keyboards. Okay, but what really sucks though is because this post in Facebook is a post, it's not a picture. I can't like click on it and like isolate it. So it's getting comments. I mean, it's people are in there talking.
Carole King. I don't know if it was Carole King.
It was Carol K.
No, it wasn't Carole King. It was Carol K. Carole King wrote songs for little girls.
Carol K was in the documentary. Was it Muscle Shoals or?
Yeah, she's a phenomenal bass player.
Session player. Yeah.
Yeah, she was amazing.
Well, you guys saw that we had on Live Without a Net tonight, and Mike is solid as hell on that thing, man.
Sure he is.
The little extra dude.
And you can hear him great in the mix.
He's putting in One Way to Rock. He's adding stuff into One Way to Rock, little runs and stuff. Like,
yeah.
No, he can play. There's no doubt about it.
And he's tight.
Yeah. I think that you saw
Wrecking Crew, thank you.
Yeah, I think you saw at the end when Eddie started to exert sort of almost a dictatorship over the band. That's when that happened. I think that, when Eddie started to become obsessive about being the guy who was the musical force behind the band.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Jay Dominguez hooked in. Well done. Well done. See, that's exactly what you're looking for. There's this Wayno with a great one too. Yeah. And there you go. See, like Keith Bell is like, okay, now I'm going to try to attack this thing from a logical standpoint and educate everybody. Good luck with that.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of those stories.
I can't believe you even said that. Fished in.
Yeah.
And Mike, obviously, I mean, his harmonies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what, though? I mean, as we're going to get into it at some point, let's give credit where credit is due. We all, I think, even us, sat back and said, look, the background vocals on these tours are clearly sampled because there's no way that Wolfgang Van Halen can sing that well. I think we're all wrong, and we all owe him an apology.
I didn't say that.
Of course, because you would never say anything negative about anybody.
Well.
Van Halen.
Hey, Laura.
Hey.
Laura. Good to see you. And yeah, we'll see you soon. We're planning it. That's Laura Kramer. That's Gary Kramer's wife. Kramer Guitars.
Cool.
Is she the heir to the Kramer fortune?
Kramer.
At least half of it.
The Kramer, the showroom down in Paso Robles. They've got a winery.
Oh, we love Kramer.
Huh? A tasting room. They have a tasting room. Good to see you, Laura. Thank you for tuning in.
Is that an old message right there?
Huh? Oh, I clicked. Boxer pipped in.
There you go. Those boxes were pipped in.
Pimped in.
Oh boy.
Well, I'll tell you this. Did you guys heard the when they did I'll Wait at Soundcheck? I forget what tour it was, but during the chorus, like Dave obviously doesn't go to the sound checks, so Wolfgang actually did the
and
lead
it shows
vocal.
in the shows.
Well, yeah. Well, Wolfgang sang lead vocal on I'll Wait, and
I saw that. Yeah,
it was the best version of that song I've heard since the album. So, other than the album version,
right?
But there is that high harmony that's missing from the chorus,
right?
So I mean, yes, Wolfgang can sing his ass off. He can sing some of the high stuff. He goes high in the new album, but Mike's voice is very
distinct. Yeah, it's distinct.
Oh yeah,
and he gets up there, and
it's a signature of the band.
Yeah,
sure it is.
I mean, it's obviously missing on Different Kind of Truth.
Mike does for Van Halen vocally what Roy Thomas Baker used to do for Queen and the Cars. It's a signature. It's a vocal signature that you hear that I think maybe might become a hallmark of Wolfgang stuff as he moves forward.
Yeah, I mean, he put his own, his own signature on a lot of those songs when you saw him in the recent tours.
Yeah,
he definitely. It wasn't Mike, but it was. It was a unique and different approach to it. Not approach to it, but it was a different sound.
It was a different kind.
It sounded great.
I see what you did there.
I was listening to something from, what was it? 2008. One of the later early tours with Dave, and later early tours.
Yeah,
And what was that? What was that? What was the later early tour?
Later first tour,
the mid late early tour.
What would we call that? Yeah, the later first tour,
later
mid
tour, late.
The first Twilight.
But yeah, I mean, it's
third half of the first third.
Not to be
tour.
Underrated. Some of those, the 08 tour was great, and Wolf came into his own on that tour at that point in the tour.
Well, speaking of Wolfgang,
that was eloquent.
Yeah,
I guess there was a rumor floating around, and I hadn't heard it, but that they recorded 60 songs during a different kind of truth session. And I guess that rumor had been floating around or something, and Wolfgang was asked about it in an interview, and he said, no, every song that was tracked or that was recorded is on the album. There's no leftovers from that, anything like that. It's everything that we recorded for that album is on the album.
Yeah, because my guess is they can only tolerate Dave for so long. By the way, I'm the biggest Dave fan you'll meet.
Dude,
I fucking love David Lee Roth, but let's face it, he can wear on you.
I don't think he was ever in the studio at the same time as any.
No, he recorded in a different studio.
Yeah, he did his shit in Henson.
Right.
Well, speaking of Roth, I mean, I watched that 13-second clip of his recent Joe Rogan interview. I couldn't even make it through the 13 minutes of him just continuously. If he says something that he thinks is funny, that's not funny, he looking around the room. Oh, no one's laughing, but I am. Like he loves to laugh at himself.
Yeah, he does.
And it's funny a couple times, but once it's like it gets like cringy, I can't watch it anymore.
Yeah, there's out of a 3-hour interview, there's 20 minutes of content.
Getting old.
Dave being happy with himself.
Getting old is a difficult thing for Dave to deal with. It's like we've talked about this before. It's like being 60 and being in the Red Hot Chili Peppers. This is a young man's game, and Van Halen was not a band that was going to age well with David Lee Roth.
I agree with that.
It is what it is. It's sometimes you see guys and it's kind of goofy. Think of 70-year-old David Lee Roth. Everybody wants him to reunite the Eat 'Em and Smile band. Do you really want to see David Lee Roth in a cowboy hat running around on the fucking inflatable microphone at 70? Really? Bands like the Stones and Aerosmith and AC/DC weren't predicated upon the fun of youth. It was fun, but it was fun that translated through life. Whereas Van Halen was about being young and doing anything. And that's one of the things that they did very well with Sammy that they could never do with Dave, and that was age gracefully. Dave is a moment in time. Dave is Dave TV, and he'll always be Dave TV. It's like looking at Anthony Michael Hall now at this age. It's like, or Ralph Macchio when you watch the Cobra Kai, that series. You're like, what's going on with his head? With the hair? What the fuck?
Well, listen, I never thought of it like that, Paul. But now that you mention it, like before Sammy left, and he makes the argument when they wanted to do the best of and all that stuff. He's like, we're still putting out #1 records.
Right.
We're still on top of the game.
Right.
After Sammy left, well, obviously after Gary got booted, when Dave came back into the fold, Van Halen turned into a
nostalgia.
Nostalgia, because they weren't gonna make any new fans with getting Dave in the band. And it kind of sucked that's what happened. Like with Sammy, like I said, they were still a #1 album band, like still putting out new stuff and killing it. And then once Dave got back in, it literally was a nostalgia thing.
Well, one of the interesting things is when you look at some of the bands that have reunited over the years. I mean, you will even go back. God, it's 15 years ago now that Led Zeppelin did the O2 Arena. They were elder statesmen, and there was an element of distinguished class that they had reached. The Rolling Stones do this now. The Police did it when they reunited. The Eagles do it. Certain bands have aged and understand that because they have aged, that they're different people. Dave tried it on the first couple of tours, with the scally cap and the overalls and the little Al Jolson soft shoe thing. But that's not the Dave that we wanted. The Dave we wanted was the guy in the Brontosaurus video. That's the Dave we remember. And when you look at that Dave and you look at the Dave we see today, who looks like Harvey Levin from TMZ, you say to yourself, well, that's not the Dave. That's not the Dave I want. That's the Dave I'm getting now. Guys like Mick Jagger and even Steven Tyler, as weird as he still looks with the scarves and the feathers and shit like that, he's still able to pull that off for whatever reason. It works for him, but it doesn't work for Dave. Dave just didn't, and maybe it's because Tyler still has his hair, but Dave just didn't age well. It just didn't happen for him.
I think he was over those, recent tours. I think he was hit or miss, and he sometimes he
More
had
miss
an
than
attitude.
hit.
Sure. And and missing on the vocals or missing on the stage
we're not even
act.
talking about like performance
No.
vocally. We're talking about just the look and the image that they present. Like, I mean, if you show any, and I hate saying this, but if you show any like young music fan, like one of those Van Halen concerts from the last
81.
He went from a metal god to
I'm talking
the new
about,
ones,
I'm talking
lounge
about
act.
the later ones with Dave when he's like you said, doing the whole vaudeville thing.
Right.
They'd probably laugh at that. They'd probably like, what is that?
Well,
I agree with that.
yeah, it's like a 70-year-old guy. Like, for example, for what I do for a living, all right? Imagine a 60 or a 70-year-old guy trying to tell you how cool Greta Van Fleet is. There's a credibility thing. Like, I'm not going to the Vans Warped Tour. As much as I might like the bands, I'm not going to the Vans Warped Tour because when you see 53-year-old Paul at the Vans Warped Tour, you're like, who the fuck is that creepy old guy here? Why is he here? Get him out of here. Is he someone? Did he drive somebody here?
Dave changed his persona.
You're
He
calling
always
yourself
changed the
old and
persona.
creepy?
I am for certain bands, yes, which will bring us eventually to discussing the Mammoth record, because it's not for me. Regardless of my opinion, it's not for me. I might like it. I might not like it. We'll get into how we all feel about the record at some point tonight. But it's not for me. It's not for 53-year-old Van Halen, AC/DC, Aussie fan. It's not for us. It's for 25 to 30-year-old kid that grew up on Nickelback and Shinedown and Tool and Imagine
great.
Dragons and Muse. And that's great.
Dragons. I can't believe people listen to that.
But that's part of this record. There's some of that on this Mammoth record. And when you say that, you go, all right, well, that's an acknowledgement that music, especially popular rock music, is in a place that you no longer exist. And you have to accept that. You can listen to it and enjoy it in your home, but it's not your lifestyle. You're not getting out. Look, Jay, you've got 2 kids and a wife and a family and a life, and you're still doing your band thing. But let's face it, your Friday and Saturday nights are not spent out at a bar seeing live music, drinking until you get fucked up and taking a cab home and doing it again tomorrow night. You don't live for Friday night at whatever your bar, the
I
bar
live
district
for
in your
Friday
town is.
night on with Johnny Beane, and I live
Of course you do.
Saturday, Straturday Night Live. I live for all this.
That's right.
But that's the point. Here it is.
That's
It's
when you
Saturday
know.
night, and we're all here.
You're right. That's when you know that you don't have a life anymore. When
No, you're
When you're
like
one of the
no,
squares?
no,
Yeah.
I'd rather, dude.
Why am I
You-
so pink?
You could tell me right now, like Jay, you could either be out at a bar hanging out,
What's this?
blah blah blah, right now, or you could be home sitting at your computer, shooting the shit with 3 other dudes.
Oh,
Yeah.
wait a minute.
Yeah.
I'd rather do this.
Yeah, because first of all, drinking in a bar is really expensive. I mean, every one of these beers is like $7 now.
I don't feel like dealing with knuckleheads either.
That's a great point. Like, for example, I have a date set up with somebody next week.
Where is it?
I I have a date upset with somebody next week, and I'm thinking to myself, do I really want to go out and go to a bar and see a band and drink and shit like that, or do I just want to have a nice quiet dinner and be home by 10?
But what if
Like,
that's going to have a nice quiet dinner?
No, but you know what I mean. Like that's the thing. You sit there, I have a friend of mine who's he's got to be in his late 40s now. I've known him well over a decade. So in his late 40s, and he still lives to go to Scottsdale on Friday nights and go to the bars. No. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing this weekend? Dude, a couple of my frat brothers and I are going to Scottsdale. What the fuck are you doing? You're pushing 50. Knock it off. And that's the point I'm trying to make about the Mammoth record is when you listen to it, and let's all admit it right now before we even get into talking about it, none of us here in this little foursome can listen to that record with objective ears, truly objective ears, because we all have a connection to Van Halen and the history of Van Halen and the legacy of Van Halen. And we are all predisposed to want it to be fucking awesome, whether it is or not.
You're right.
Yeah, so we have to admit that before we even get into it.
We all know good music, quality music, and I think we can't deny that he's in is the talent that's there.
Oh,
yeah, but we need to admit that before we even get into talking about the record.
I mean, Paul is right because I mentioned this before. It's very hard for me as a music fan to find something new from a band that I don't know that I like embrace and want to listen to, unless it's like one of my close friends that that I have very similar musical tastes with. Like, dude, you got to check this band out. There, blah blah blah. I'm like, all right, I'll check them out.
But Jay, it's different with you though. You're a musician as well. You're a working musician, and you do not listen to music the way the average consumer, the average listener does. No, you just can't. You're incapable. It's incapable because you look at now. You, especially as somebody that does production, are listening for tones and recording techniques and other things. Yeah, tunes, levels. You're listening to levels.
Thank you, Laura.
The average person that hears that record for the first time, the average person that buys the Mammoth record, doesn't look for. Mm-hmm. You're looking, and we all do that because we have that connection.
Yeah.
What's the average audience for the Mammoth record? I mean, it's us.
Well, people right now it's
Van Halen. It's not. It's not us. Yeah, right now the Van Halen fans are the ones that are anticipating.
Right. You would be more aware of that being in radio. So which are they playing it on top 40 stations? Is there anything that's not coming? I mean,
here's the thing:
are there top 40 stations?
Said it was number 1 in all genres on iTunes
on streaming for streaming. Yes, for streaming. But rock radio stations. I'll look up right now some playlists from radio stations across America, like new rock radio stations, and see how well that record is doing.
I mean, I've heard
that. It's a HIPAA violation. Are you logging into some secret?
I'm logging into a radio trade thing that I can track records on.
Yeah,
I'll tell you how good the record is doing around here anyway. But
I mean,
new rock. I don't know,
Paul. I think you are correct because I don't, like I said, I don't seek out new music from new bands to listen to. So
because it's not the epicenter of your world anymore.
No, not even that. But don't they say, I mentioned this before too, about after 33 or somewhere around the 33-year-old range, you stop seeking, like you almost have enough music and the younger generation's music. You don't want to hear that. You almost turn into your parents, right? So you don't want to hear the younger generation's music. You're not into pop music and all that stuff. When you hit a certain age, pop.
I am.
And I thought, well, Johnny, you're just a different breed of cat. So I would
you. They say you make your musical choices between the ages of 13 and 25.
25.
There's like a 10 to 15 year period. Anything after that, you've decided what your choices are going to be. You know what your favorite beer is. You know what your favorite food is. You know what your favorite. Your brand loyalty is already chosen. Very few people.
Remy LaCroix. I like it.
Very few people change their favorite automobile, their favorite stereo brand, their favorite guitar,
their favorite pants.
Whatever it. Yes, you buy whatever Levi's that you like are the Levi's that you like, or whatever shoes that you like are the shoes that you like. And
that's why you always see those 70 and 80-year-old guys out there wearing outfits, and you're like, what the hell is he? Look at that guy. He's got those khaki boxy shorts on, looking like he's going on a boat trip.
Johnny, that's 1988.
With the white socks pulled up to like mid calf.
These things are falling apart, man.
Where do you get those light jeans? I haven't seen. I need to get a pair of those. Like really.
Yeah, sure. You know what the funny part is,
1988
Johnny? I'm betting you've owned those jeans long enough for that to happen naturally. Now there are kids paying like $125 for jeans that look like that.
Oh my gosh! No, these actually came looking like that.
Yeah,
these
of course
these
they did.
particular ones. Part of it did. Yeah. I've only had these pants maybe a couple years.
It's like the Joe Elliott
These
pants.
particular ones.
Yeah, the Joe Elliott's. You just got to get the hairdo like Joe Elliott had in 87.
But his were perfect. Like he
Ooh.
had like the it wasn't just ripped and falling.
Hit me
over.
like a bomb.
It was like he definitely had those, manufactured.
But I mean, even a lot of the stuff Jeannie listens to, I'm like, oh my God. She likes a lot of that like pop punk and emo stuff that came out that was hot around the 2004, 5, 6 era, area. She likes a lot of that stuff, and she knows not to put it on when I'm around. We've had on. I'm already back to docking. Like there's not been one day for how long now? Almost going on a month.
Which is funny.
To docking.
Which is funny because you're like, I would say you're 10 years younger than the average Dawkins fan would be. I'm guessing you got it from your older brothers.
Yes, he's not a Dawkins fan though. I've been trying to get him to listen to Back for the Attack for a month.
He's over 10 years.
Huh?
He's it's over 10 years for him.
What?
For an average
Dawkins' heyday was what?
Dawkins
1988, 87?
87 was Back for the Attack. 88 was the tour. And I think, didn't Lynch say sometime recently, maybe recently, about the Monsters of Rock tour that like he was basically like just going through the motions?
Yeah.
Didn't he say something like that, or did I dream it?
Yeah, I think that was
because didn't they break up soon after?
Mancuda.
You're dreaming about Dawkins now, huh?
That's a problem.
Listening to it enough. when did they break up? Was it soon after
Freddie.
Monsters of Rock?
A couple of years after.
No. 90 was Lynch Mob. It's Wicked Sensation. And Back for the Attack was their last record. Well, before they came back in the 2000s or whatever.
Rock was mid 88
or 90s.
So yeah, you're right around that time. So there must have been. I've heard the stories too. Yeah, that they certainly didn't get along at that point. And,
no, Lynch and Dawkins didn't like.
All right, so just to let you know, Mammoth is sitting at 13 nationally on the rock charts. It is up 70 spins nationally, and is getting about it's up 78 spins nationally.
What does that mean?
And Don't Back Down is the single that they're playing right now. And that is the only song that I'm looking on the top 50 from Mammoth is that it's being played. So there you go. Number one is Aaron Jones. Number two is a band called A Day to Remember. Greta Van Fleet, Five Finger Death Punch, Rise Against, Seether, Bring Me the Horizon.
Number one for a little while.
It's gone.
Machi.
I mean, that was months ago. I know that was months ago, but
you imagine? Could you imagine if all of a sudden Paul's like, "Holy shit, Jay, you're like number 6 on national."
Sorry, Jay. Here's the thing, but this is the thing: Gizmachi is better than half the bands on this fucking list. That's the problem. Does anybody? Here's a couple of. Have you ever heard of Lilith Czar? No. Weezer? Okay, we know who Weezer is, but is Weezer a great rock band?
Relevant? Wow.
Yes.
21 Pilots at 48. I'll count down from the top 50. This is the top 50.
We're going to be here all night.
No, we're not. I can do it quick. So you got Lilith Czar, Weezer, 21 Pilots, Spirit Box, Sons of Silver, Oh the Horror, Architects, Fozzy. Fozzy is in the top fucking 50.
Fozzy Bear?
That's the wrestler,
that's
right?
That's Chris Jericho's band.
Band.
Yeah. Green Day, Gojira, Psychosexual, Foo Fighters, Blame My Youth, Miles Kennedy, Gemini Syndrome, Any Given Sin, Foundry, Cleopatra, Light the Torch, All Time Low. Machine Gun Kelly is number 30 on the rock charts.
He's the one that's pounding Avril Lavigne? Isn't he that lucky son of a?
No, he's pounding somebody else.
Who's the one pounding Avril?
I don't know.
That's her double.
There's a band called
yeah.
Proving all the good band names are taken. Dead Poet Society, Bad Omens, Plush, Nonpoint is still around. 10 Years, Volbeat, Daughtry, Beartooth, Chevelle, LA Rats, Atreyu, Deftones, Foo Fighters, Evanescence, Royal Blood, Black Veil Brides. Mammoth is at number 13, and again, up 78 spins with Don't Back Down. Dirty Honey, which is one of the best rock bands in the country, and nobody cares. Bad Flower, All Good Things, Offspring, 0936, Bring Me the Horizon, Seether, Rise Against, Five Finger Death Punch, Greta Van Fleet, A Day to Remember, and Aaron Jones. That's your top 50 rock bands in America being played.
Who was number 7?
Bands. Bring Me the Horizon.
Who was 8?
0936.
Who was 32?
Seether.
What, go do from the top.
Light the torch.
Do from the top.
Top 10?
Oh, no. Offspring.
Do it again.
Did
Faster.
They had to have sold their souls to still be like killing.
Weezer, Offspring. There's some 90s bands that are still relevant, that are still on there.
I can't believe it.
But here's the thing. Offspring has gone from number 6 to number 9. They're down 176 spins nationally this week. Now, down 176 spins is not that much.
170 what?
176. The problem with that is there's like 300 new rock stations, so they're down like 3 spins on each radio.
Oh, stop. 3 spins.
Welcome, Caleb.
So,
Never a spin.
Now they're a skip.
Never a spin.
So I just got a text from David Lee Roth. He's not coming on the show now.
Oh, well.
Oh, Dave.
He will be missed.
Wow.
We knew this day would come.
Yes, Keith Campbell. I did say Foo Fighters twice because they have 2 different songs on the charts.
Yeah, there's another 90s band.
You son of a bitch.
So Foo Fighters are occupying the spot that
Gizmachi
Gizmachi wants. Yeah.
Well, yeah, Dave Grohl called me.
Or
Said,
Nerd
you know
Him.
what, Jay? Can we please just put our name over yours on the radio list that Paul's going to read?
Yeah, Foo Fighters Waiting on a War is number 17, and Making a Fire is number 39.
What?
I have no idea what either one of those songs are, and I
What's
Right.
the oldest band that's on the chart?
You follow.
It-
Foo
it-
Fighters.
It would
Or
be
Weezer.
It would be somebody like Foo Fighters,
Offspring.
Weezer,
Offspring's before Foo Fighters.
I gotta go get a water.
Green Day,
Green Day was
Offspring.
early 90s,
Oh,
yeah.
Green Day.
Yeah,
Maybe-
Green Day,
well-
Offspring, Weezer. Those are nowhere on that list is a band more than 25 years old. No new band, no classic band releasing new material.
There's still a good, there's still a lot of rock bands on there. Have you seen Rick Beato always does the top 20? He'll do a review of the top 20 artists, and in the last one I saw, there was a lot of guitar bands, and there are a lot of guitar riffs at least in there on the top 20, pop charts or whatever it was. People are still playing guitar and still, which is good to see. It's not necessarily rock, but it's
the
they're
top-
still making music with it.
False Flag paid $5 to ask us a question. I think we should answer it.
Sure.
You don't want anything that rhymes with ag in your band name. I'm sorry. That's just my opinion.
Is that from experience, or is that just in general?
No, it's just, that's like when you name your kid, you always go like, well, what's the make fun of it part of the name?
Right.
So there you go. That's my answer. You guys can answer if you want.
So
Agnes?
you're saying that
this
Jag
case, I
Panzer was a
agree.
bad band name.
I don't even know that name.
Exactly.
Well, they're number 5 this week.
Yes. But that's the suck part. Like I'm just looking and I'm like, new music is fucked. New music is so fucked right now. The top 10 rated songs by national radio: Pretty Reckless, Evanescence, Black Veil Brides, Seether, Five Finger Death Punch, Bring Me the Horizon, Rise Against, Daughtry, Atreyu featuring Travis Barker,
Ugh.
and All Time Low.
Hey, that's my $5 because I made him laugh. Okay. Bring that to me. That was my joke.
You don't get any of the money. Don't you know how this show works? It's all
Oh,
Johnny.
I know, it all goes to Johnny.
All the free stuff and all the money go to Johnny.
It buys Taco Bell. And
Yeah,
that's
I
it.
could ask you guys to chip in to pay for this, but I
And
don't.
holy pants.
So.
Are you kidding me? You could also pay us for participating every week too.
Thank you, Pascal. I appreciate it. I'm having fun doing it. Appreciate it.
Pascal.
It's 40 years today since the Oakland 81 show.
Nice segue. Let's talk about that.
And
Wow.
I put up a video of the Unchained solo in the Oakland version because I always wanted to learn it because it was so different.
I remember when I first saw that. Headbanger's Ball, it was like 80, 88, or 89.
Got myself a brand new Oakland scarf right here.
And I thought it was awesome.
Yeah,
especially the solo.
I saw it on Night Flight. They didn't even have
Yeah,
MTV.
Night Flight.
They didn't have MTV available in my area of Los Angeles until late 82. It took a year and a half, 2 years almost to get
Boston was like 86, 87.
Crazy.
We had a UHF station. Do you remember UHF stations? We had a UHF station. It was channel 66. It was called V66. And it was based out of Framingham, Massachusetts. And it had a horrible signal, but it was a commercial video
out
channel.
here. It wasn't that bad because I remember watching that for years.
Couldn't get it in the city. And V66 was around for a few years, and then they eventually sold to the Home Shopping Network. But because Boston didn't have MTV, a guy named Arnie Ginsberg and John Garabedian, who does this show called Open House Party, it's a national top 40 radio show, they bought a television station and started showing videos on free television because we didn't have MTV in Boston. So that's where I saw Van Halen for the first time, was on like this weird UHF station.
Testing. Am I better?
A little bit better. Crispy.
HF station.
I think the first time I saw it was when I got that bootleg video from snail mail back in the day when you would send away for the different concerts and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's where you got the complete version where there was no cuts. It was never a skip. You got it from the beginning to the end with the credits.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
same with
for me, those videos, 3 videos, and they were really only 2 because Hear About It Later got rarely played, if ever. But they would go back and forth with So This Is Love and Unchained. That was my first visual of what a Van Halen was. Like you never really saw them before unless you looked at records, but you definitely never saw them moving or the show. So for me,
that was the first videos, right?
That night 40 years ago is how I went, oh my God, look at that fucking drum kit. Are you kidding me?
The drum kit was,
look at that drum kit. Look at that stage.
Well, we were talking about that earlier, Caleb. We didn't get a chance to see, the You Really Got Me and the Running with the Devil and Talking About Love. None of those videos were on television, even on like Don Kirshner's rock concert and shit.
No, you know why?
For whatever reason, they weren't on.
You know why? Because they and the record company had a call on that. They're like, fucking, no one's watching that. We're not. Nobody can play that shit.
Buy the ticket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So back then they controlled all the visual content of themselves. So any of that stuff, they wouldn't even let a source play if they wanted to. They had to get approval from the band or from the record company, and they probably had strict orders not to play those videos.
That's why all that European stuff has come out too. The stage videos or the
right. We haven't talked about that.
Yeah, Unchained and So This Is Love was like my first visual exposure to Van Halen. Until before that, it was just put the record on the turntable and look at the album cover and go, "Ooh, this is cool."
According to, the sources that I've seen, that Don Kirshner did play like the '79 videos.
Well, that was his show. Yeah.
The ones from what was it? The NASA Coliseum.
Who got the Don Kirshner show? I mean, was that widely?
No, it was late night after Saturday Night Live.
It was one of the top networks. It was like ABC or NBC or something. But
it was syndicated. It was a syndicated show that was filler. Yeah.
Okay.
It was filler that you bought, and that's why it got stuff late at night.
Back then.
Do you know where that footage was filmed, John Biel?
It was
Buffalo.
No,
Rochester.
Nassau Coliseum, I think. Is that Rochester? Oh, you might be. Yeah, Rochester.
No, that's Long Island. You're thinking of
clear across New York there.
Yeah, it was somewhere.
Yeah, not
New
even
England
close.
guy in New England. I'm telling
Not even
you,
close. Yeah.
sitting in Los Angeles. Yeah, clear across.
Rochester.
Yeah.
I think
Rochester is upstate New York versus Long Island, which is extreme eastern New York.
Yeah.
They're like 300 miles apart.
Okay.
Don't worry about it.
No, I know.
Yeah,
New York
what is Edward flipping in his mouth in the backstage stuff? Is he flipping a pick?
Hello.
Or like
hello.
an M&M?
No, because he's eating.
Okay.
I think it's gum.
Let's give him a hello.
I think it's a pick.
He's swallowing a pick, or I think he was eating something. I think
He was right before he lit it on fire. I think so.
yeah, that was probably the case. No, but those were the first live.
Who'd be stupid enough to light a pick on fire?
Try that. Try it at home.
Isolate.
You want the super tiny, super small Fender pick?
Oh,
Yeah, go
That's
for
great.
it.
I'm glad you said pick.
Giggity.
There you go.
Go. Let's see what kind of conflagration would that
Conflagration.
What's that word?
Is that what you're trying
What's
to say?
that word?
Conflagration?
conflagration, whatever. Jay
Yeah,
looks
79
spooky.
NASA. It says yes. NBC says NASA.
I heard it was Rochester, but I could be wrong. I've been wrong before, and I admit
What
it.
the hell I mean?
Yeah, but imagine if you were wrong on a Van Halen fact.
I mean, I thought, hey, all these years I thought the 5150 had a 59 in it. Man, was I wrong. So
Where did you hear that?
I've from just a bunch of guys who say they know it all.
Experts, people that were there.
All right, let me check out the VH.
Yeah.
Pascal. Thank you, Pascal.
People that were there didn't write the DiMarzio article. The guy who literally performed surgery on the 5150. So
Larry.
So I was supposed to get a.
Jay has entered the game.
I was supposed to receive a package.
Package.
A package yesterday, and I was going to do, a new guitar, whatever, last night, but it got delayed to today. So I'm like, all right, I'll just show the guitar, on Saturday night. So all day I'm checking the tracking. It says going to be delivered by the end of Saturday.
So funny because I'm sorry to interrupt, but if it was me, I'd literally be out looking for the truck.
Well, it was coming from Charlotte.
I'd be combing streets looking for whose route is my area, and I would find that person, or find another one and say, "Hey, who runs the route in my area? Where are they? Can I go meet them?"
Yeah, can I just meet you at the side of the road?
For those of you in New England, that word is route.
So it says it's going to be delivered at the end of the day today. About 6 something tonight. It changes to
pending.
Yeah, I had one of those for my guitar.
I have one waiting for. I've got something coming in from Japan that I've been waiting for a couple of weeks, and it's just got original shipping is prepared for shipment, and it's been like that for 6 days.
Oh yeah,
because, it's that USPS. They're not going to tell you what's going on.
Jay,
shows up at your front door.
I'll bet you $10 that the shipping on the guitar will be at perfect time when you send it back. So
you'll be able to track it.
Well, this guitar, the one that I'm talking about, wasn't very expensive. So I'm not expecting it to be, what I paid.
Here's a question: will it cost more to return the guitar than the guitar is worth?
No, but FedEx is the carrier, Mark Graves. No, it's a little cool thing. I think I mentioned yesterday that it might be a 3/4 scale guitar. So
a little guitar.
Wow, cool.
Yep. But it's not even for me. So.
Rochester. They're according to all sources I'm seeing, it was Rochester for 79.
Okay.
I heard somewhere, I read that footage was Pasadena Civic.
I never saw that.
Did they play the Pasadena Civic in 79?
Well, let me just tell you.
Friends, I've been waiting a long time to say Here's one off our first album.
I
believe that was the Pasadena Civic.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the greatest Van Halen bootleg there is.
Yeah, it is. Civic Pride.
I don't think they played the Civic after the first album.
Right?
But there were a couple things I noticed in '79. Dave collapses on stage. Did anybody know about this? David Lee Roth. No, sorry, wrong one.
It wasn't like
Dave
the Rod
collapsed
Stewart collapse, was it?
No, he collapsed on stage from
What happened with
exhaustion.
him?
And
Who, by the way, Caleb, Carmine Apiece was when we told him, when we mentioned that story to him. I guess he was playing with Rod Stewart when that allegedly happened. He was pissed.
What happened with Rod Stewart?
Okay, Jay, this is like the original rock rumor of 1981.
There's two of them. There's this one and the bottle of spit. There's two big rumors.
And maybe the Ozzy biting the head off the.
Well, that happened.
What? Yeah. How am I gonna say this? And I was so young, and I don't even think. I think it was the first time I ever heard the word semen.
Go ahead,
where were you when you first heard
the story? The story was.
Are you serious, Jay? You don't know the story? Or you
the story was that Rod Stewart collapsed on stage, and it was because he had a belly full of semen.
Oh, yeah. I heard that about what's his name, Mick Jagger. Oh, man,
well, you might have mixed it up. You might have mixed it up because I never heard that one. But the Rod Stewart story was potent, like everywhere, and all the kids knew, and it was crazy. If that's a rumor, that it's like the most embarrassing rumor of all time.
It is a rumor, and Carmine Apiece's response was, "That's fucking bullshit. I was there." keep in mind, Carmine was also in the room when Led Zeppelin fucked a chick with a fish. So
yeah,
nice.
He's been there. Yeah.
What do they call that?
There's some hi Ellie. There's some content.
The shark incident.
They call it the mud shark incident. It wasn't a mud shark, according to Carmine. It was a red snapper, which makes it even funnier.
Carmine's really up on his.
Well, when you pull it out, it's a
Hammer of the
shark.
Gods. If you guys want to read about it, Hammer of the Gods.
Yeah. All right. Carmine said he was there.
We started this. We completely interrupted John BL's story for a different story. Like, just
wait a minute. Wait. Jay, you're getting John BL's back. How many times has he interrupted you over the past year?
I'm hoping.
What are you doing?
I'm hoping this.
What do you want to know, Jay? What were we talking about?
We were talking about Roth collapsing on stage.
Yeah, and April 13th of '79, David Lee Roth collapses on stage due to a stomach virus and exhaustion in the Seattle at the Seattle Arena in Washington. I'm just looking at the Van Halen Encyclopedia for 1979, and then just above that was.
I have that. Don't I?
I'm in that.
Yeah, you have the hardcover or the.
Don't give me your stomach virus, pal, or I'm gonna fuck your girlfriend.
Caleb, were you there?
The only people that put stomach virus in Jack Daniel's bottles.
It was the second night in Seattle. So no, in '79 they played the LA Coliseum for the California World Music Festival.
Right, they opened for Aerosmith.
That's right,
and AC/DC.
So it says they invited more than 300 people to the show as their personal guests. The band and crew arrived in a fleet of 16 white limousines. A chimpanzee dressed as David Lee Roth.
Oh, great!
And accompanied maybe that was the first time they had the two little persons on as bodyguards.
That was the day they brought the Sherman tank and rolled it over the Volkswagen up on the top of the. The archways at the Coliseum behind the stage.
Fun fact, that chimpanzee actually did the vocals on Women and Children First. I'm sure you knew that.
And that was totally not approved by the headliner.
No, and all day long they were saying Mr. Tyler or Mr. Aerosmith or something. It was something like related to Aerosmith. Please move your VW from whatever the area is. All day long over the PA.
Right. Perfect.
Oh, really?
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That is brilliant.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
So, in other words, they probably weren't very friendly with.
Aerosmith was a mess at that time.
It's great though because that was their hood. That Los Angeles was their
Right.
They're home, so they
Think about this for a second,
they
though.
worked it.
When Van Halen entered the scene, Led Zeppelin had broken up or was on the verge of breaking up. Black Sabbath was burnt out. Aerosmith was burnt out.
So you're saying
They
it was
were
the perfect
upstaging
time.
Black. They were
Bon
upstaging
Bon
Black.
Scott was dead.
Right,
I mean, you had
the Who had the biggest tragedy at a rock show
Right.
ever.
you want to talk about, like, if there was ever a situation that was fortuitous for a new band to come in.
The Stones released
Some
Emotional
Girls.
Rescue.
Yeah.
Some Girls
Like,
is awesome,
and
but Emotional Rescue.
Kiss is putting out Dynasty. I mean, you're talking about, like, the timing was perfect for a
Right.
band.
Everybody took a dive right at the right
Everybody
time.
around them that could have cock-blocked Van Halen was eating shit at that point. It was a perfect combination of amazing music, fantastic marketing, and timing. And let's face it, timing does matter.
And hunger too.
Yeah,
They were
and timing does matter. So
They
I mean,
were
but
more hungry than everybody.
But think about that. They opened for Aerosmith, one of the biggest bands in the world, and kicked the shit out of them. They opened for Black Sabbath, biggest heavy metal band in the world, kicked the shit out of them.
Journey.
And all the other big bands
Broke them up. They broke them up.
Yeah. So I mean, timing is perfect for a band like that to come out and do their thing. I don't know that you get an opportunity like that in 2021. You know, look, there's an opportunity here, and look, is Guns N' Roses done?
No, there's
'Cause if-
not. It's so different now.
But if Guns N' Roses, no, what I'm trying to say is Guns N' Roses is a nostalgia act now. If Guns N'
But
Roses is done, does that give an opportunity for Mammoth to make a similar impact on that tour?
Yeah, you know what? It's not the same game. There's no
Oh,
there's
I
no
know, yeah.
lore. There's no mystery. There's no
Right.
Everything's
completely
exposed from
controlled
day one.
information by
Right.
the entity. It's you can find out whatever you fucking want now from somebody on the inside if you just slip them the right amount of dough. There's no, everyone leaks. There's nothing. Nothing's a secret. It sucks.
That's the
But,
unfortunate part is because and Caleb,
The
you and I
internet has ruined everything. I mean, except that we're friends, so we can thank the internet. But it has ruined so many things about our lives growing up that will never be the same. People growing up now don't understand that, but we do. We lived before cell phones. We had pagers in the fucking 90s.
I'm on at 14.4. I'm on at 14.4.
Try living with a beeper, for 7 years, 8 years. I think I had a beeper, man. That's fucking nuts.
What are you, a drug dealer?
You'll page me.
No, I mean, I just
Bump me on the celly.
I was never home. And when I was at home, it wasn't my phone. It was my parents. So
you and I were texting back and forth, Caleb, and this goes back to what we were talking about earlier. Just making a great record isn't good enough anymore because there are so many other options for people to spend their time and entertainment.
Now you have to make a great record and strangle your producer to death. Go to jail, and then they wait for you to come out so that they can, go see you, buy your ticket. Now you're out. It's like there has to be some story. There has to be some viral thing attached to everything. There's nothing that's just based on the music or the content. It has to be something extra, something contrived, stupid.
Let's be fair, Caleb. That's always been the case. There has to be a personality. If Van Halen doesn't have David Lee Roth as their front man, if Motley Crue isn't, if Vince Neil or Nikki Sixx isn't setting himself on fire, you got to have something. When we grew up, you could name every member of every band that we liked because they had personalities and there was something about them that was engaging. And most of the bands nowadays are faceless, nameless bands that are just putting out, they think that the product is enough. It's never been that way. The Beatles were marketed, the Stones were marketed, all these bands were marketed. There was something more than just the music. There was a personality and there was an image that was attached to the band that made us go, I want to know more about this band. And with MTV and visuals, all of those things became more than just the music. Now,
it's oversaturated.
Well, now because we have so many different channels and outlets of places to get entertainment, whether it's streaming or it's video games or it's movies or streaming platforms and stuff, there's so many other ways to get the music. Good music isn't enough anymore. There has to be another thing. Machine Gun Kelly is getting all of his juice, not because he's a great musician, but because he's banging the chick from Transformers. Megan Fox, yeah.
Oh, good for
He's
him.
banging Megan Fox, and he was in the Motley Crue movie, and all of a sudden people go, oh, that's the guy that pretended he was Tommy Lee in the movie. I wonder what else he can do. So there has to be
he's stepdad to Brian Austin Green's kids, from the guy from 90210.
Right.
That's why he's got some mojo now.
And so look. I mean, what's Ryan Reynolds doing in his cell phone commercials? He's showing pictures of Blake Lively's tits. Because there has to be something else.
Yeah, where's that?
Yeah.
Oh, you haven't seen that commercial?
I haven't seen those either.
No, there's a commercial. It's a great commercial. He's talking about how he's trying to get all these LA celebrities to use Mint Mobile, and they don't want to do it because it's so cheap. He goes, and I know one celebrity who paid $400 and something for a latte because it was, I don't know, cage free or judgment free, and it shows a picture. It's a still picture of Blake Lively with her face pixelated, but you can totally see the low cut halter top that she's wearing. And he's like, I'm not sure.
That was like a year or so ago, right?
No, it's running now. It's still running.
What?
But people are like, but he's like, I'm not sure. I can't tell you if I'm married to her or not. So he's exploiting his wife's tits to trying to get people to buy his cell phones because there has to be something more than just the product.
Oh God.
Bye, false flag.
All right. Oh, you're not going to hang out? We're about to talk about the woolly mammoth in the room.
We did already.
That sounds good.
No, we
Not
didn't.
really.
No, we didn't get into it.
I'm joking.
I'm happy to talk about it.
Because the thing we're talking about, having more than just great music, does factor into this discussion.
Well, these days it's all about everything media. You have to have like everything going on.
Well, that's
But it's always been that way, Johnny.
Well, yeah, and you got to figure it out because what? Did
But you
Van
have to do it
Halen-
all yourself.
What did Van Halen mess up with a different kind of truth? They released their record up against what's her name?
Don't be ill.
One name chick. What's her name?
Pink.
She was kind of heavy. No, not so heavy.
Adele.
Right. So Adele just held on to her one spot. Van Halen kind of pushed up to 2.
Yeah, but what's different? What's
slipped
different
away.
between that and Thriller? There's no. I mean, it's the same thing. History repeats itself.
No, Van Halen.
Right, but
in 2012 was. I mean,
you got to learn the timing of things. You know, they should have waited. They should have
2012,
pushed.
the world was going to end.
yeah.
Remember
Right.
that?
They had to get it out.
Yeah, but short of a 3-year period from 1986 through 1989, rock has always been a second tier format and always been a second tier
And in
niche
2012,
form of music.
rock was
Right,
you know,
but you're
But
talking
in
about
1999,
right.
No,
You're talking about-
no.
Skip.
You're talking about possibly the greatest reunion in rock and roll history
Behind the Eagles.
2012. The reunion took place in 22
on record.
2007.
On record for an album.
I think it was a great album.
New material.
But like you say, wrong time. It just didn't. It wasn't.
So I'm sure
It wasn't a reunion though because they already had that. Well, Michael's not involved. You know,
I'm
that
sure.
was already a fucking black mark against it before the record even
Sure,
came out.
but we're talking about 30% of the fan base doesn't even know who plays bass in Van Halen. So,
which
you
is
know,
disgusting.
it's sad but true. All right, so here's what I think
That was
happened
Metallica.
that's a
because
pretty good ratio. Think of a lot of your favorite bands. I bet in most of them you don't know who the damn bass player is.
Renus, you know, I got to bring something up.
So 70% of Van Halen fans know who Michael. That's awesome. That's a good percentage.
Renus, more
I'm
than
going to point this out, man. I'm
we
with
got
you
it
on this.
because we have a bunch of songs on that record that were new. We're not rehashed. And by the way, the only reason I love this point, the only reason you know that stuff is old, that stuff was part of their demos
because they admitted
it was fucking leaked. Okay,
right?
Everybody else digs into their old shit. Everybody.
gonna
We don't get it leaked to us. Okay,
Renus,
so that's not a great enough point for me.
The argument is that Tattoo You from the Rolling Stones is their best album. That's their most popular record, correct?
I don't know.
Yeah, well, that's the peak of rock.
Okay,
1981.
so 1981, Tattoo You comes out. Start Me Up, Hang Fire, Little TNA, Waiting on a Friend. Every one of those fucking songs was a leftover from a 70s Stones record.
Mhm.
And you didn't know about it because they didn't tell you about it.
Right.
And a bunch of AC/DC songs have been left over from back when Bon Scott was in the band. And a bunch of Eagles songs.
Right.
And a bunch of, bands do this all the fucking
Right.
time.
And I bet you Renus loves the song Amsterdam, right? Well, guess what we found out last week, right? Guess what we fucking found out. All right. Amsterdam was written before fucking Dave left. Okay.
Right.
So how about that?
Well,
so that happens a lot.
There's a little to do about that. It's either right, Johnny. Aren't people saying it's got to be either after the 5150 tour?
Yeah, it's probably 87.
It's 87.
It's early 87 because he's got the rat tails.
Most of the shit that's on Led Zeppelin's Physical Graffiti record was written in 1971, 4 years prior to
all
it.
of the Who did it. I mean, it was
right.
They
this
all
is
had
not
back catalogs of demos, etc.
By the way, who gives a shit when it was written? It's that band's original music. Who gives a fuck when they choose to put it out?
Right.
If they wrote it 20 years ago and it didn't make the record 20 years ago, but it makes it together, does that make it any less that band's music?
Well, and there's also the fact now that Wolfgang talked about that record in itself. He was the one. If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't even got that album.
Right.
He was the one that came up with the idea of, hey, Dad, let's go through all the old Van Halen demos, just so it has that same vibe of back then.
Right.
And
it was
so
probably also. It was
to do
probably also. Look, Dave doesn't want to come over and work with us, so let's just give him some stuff, and then he can go and do what he's going to do with it. Because I bet you,
familiar with.
I bet you they weren't even hanging out together doing those songs. It was all just,
Do you think any band
passed by messenger?
Do you think any band in recorded history gets together after recording their first album and sits down and says, we're going to write 10 or 12 new songs? They don't sit down in the rehearsal studio and say, hey, what about that idea we had for this song? Do you think maybe we can flush that out? And we wouldn't have known if any of those songs were old catalog songs if we didn't have access to the bootlegs that came out.
Right.
None of those songs were officially
familiar with
released
because of
we
those.
pirated those songs. We spread those songs around the internet and shared them amongst our friends, so we are aware that shit like Beats Workin' existed beforehand. We're the people that knew that those songs were
Right.
Right.
I don't remember hearing Stay Frosty in those demos. I don't remember hearing Honey Baby Sweetie Doll on the Chinatown in those, As Is, You and Your Blues, all those songs, those are new cuts. So I like the record. I think the record was great. I'm glad it came out. Am I a fan of the tone of Eddie? It could have been a little more historical in my taste. Am I a fan of the mix of the instruments? No. Can I tell that Dave mixed the record? Yes. His voice is way up in it.
Yeah. Are we happy they put out new material?
Yes.
So
they did
That's
it.
what it comes down to.
So they did it.
And that, by the way, credit to Wolfgang, because look, Eddie was in a really bad fucking place, and Wolfgang was at an age where he recognized that Eddie was in a real bad fucking place. And where was Eddie happiest? When he was in the studio. So what did Wolfgang do? He took the positive, the one thing that he knew that would make his father happy, and he exploited it to refocus him in a place that he wouldn't have been focused on because he was unhappy in his world,
right.
and he was certainly unhealthy in his world.
And the truth,
give credit to the kid for fucking saving that band. We got an extra 15 years.
And saving his life, which you already mentioned in an interview. That was pretty heavy for him to actually mention.
Oh, he's been brutally honest.
Yeah, that he saved his dad's life. And here's what was probably happening in 2004, 2005, 2006. Nobody was going up there. Nobody was going near that guy. Nobody
was telling him like it was. Nobody was.
Nobody was. They were afraid of him because they didn't know who he was anymore.
Dude, all you have to do is Look at that video of him doing Catherine in the studio. That man
Right.
was on his way to death.
His birthday, was it his birthday party, the backyard party?
Yeah.
He was a
That was
fucking nightmare.
2006.
Look at the Howard Stern video when they were in there with Gary. Eddie was fucking lost.
That was 98.
Yeah, that's my point. There was a period of time where that guy was on his way out.
1998.
That was
98. 98 then, right?
Which, by the way, Jay,
on the DVD.
is a year before 1999.
1999.
Remember that.
Yeah, right.
So, yeah, no one was going near him. And the only person that could go up there and talk to him and hang out with him
Was his
was
kid.
his son. And his son thought, well, how can I get him on a good path here? I'll start jamming with him. I'll
Wolfgang
learn
was
bass.
kryptonite.
Think of the
You know?
opposite of what could have happened. A lot of kids at that age would see their dad like that and be like, "I'm out of here.
I don't want to be anything
I'm not
like
dealing
that.
with
I'm gonna go, yeah,
Yeah,
my own path.
you know what?
Yeah.
That's amazing in itself.
Yeah, he came in with the 6-pack and goes, "These are incredible. You did these?" And he's like, "Yeah, I guess." You know, and
Not a bad Eddie impression, by the way.
thank you. And they went through that stuff. And then the next thing you know, Uncle Al comes over and they start running it. And then the next thing you know, it sounds pretty good. And the next thing you know, Wolf says, "Hey, let's call Dave." And Ed goes, "Sure." And you got a band back, and you made hundreds of thousands of people happy with
Well,
that.
millions of people.
Millions. Okay. Well, whoever went, it was big for me. I was excited. I mean, I didn't think it was too late.
Woke
So,
me up for a long time through
it was pretty special. And I have some of the best things in my life because of that tour. My wife's and I first date was the Fresno show.
Oh,
And, so I literally could thank Wolfgang for my life. So, that's awesome. So whatever this kid does, whatever I'm going to support it. He's a good dude. I've met him.
quality stuff.
He got me the final meeting with Edward, and it was an incredible experience. And I owe him a lot for that. That being said, what he's been able to do over the last 5 years, which is how long it's taken for him to do this because of, obvious circumstances, and the path of the rollout of this record, based on, a different kind of truths, not making it to the top. And I'm sure he studied a lot of other bands and what their rollouts were. This rollout of this record is probably it's like a military operation. Look what they've done. They started in November. And here we are, like 7 months later. This is incredible. Finally. And he saved some real gems for yesterday. And, there's half the record, I think, for me, are songs I could listen over and over again. I'm not going to go, "Oh, it's all good," because no record is all good, except 1980. But I'm sorry. But yeah,
You like Jump?
look, the best kind of music, and I said this to somebody on Facebook because they went way over the top in their instant critique of it. Is some of the best, my favorite songs are the ones that grew on me. They weren't songs I liked right away. So, this album's different. It's not a sound I'm familiar with. I'm not listening to all these bands he's grown up on. But what stands up, what sets him apart is obviously his musicianship is incredible on all the instruments, but his voice is something you can't buy. You can't teach it. You can't order it from a store. It's incredible. He's got an amazing set of pipes, and and he's got a great sense of melody. There's some melodies on this record where you're like, wow,
thing. It's
he
genuine.
fucking wrote that.
You know, he's like you were saying, you touched on it earlier. He was, you know, a child of the, you know, whatever they call it. The you know,
there goes John Biel's mic. It literally loses its battery during the show.
Sorry, I guess I'm not talking loud enough.
John Biel.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
No.
I just no. He grew up with a different kind of influence than we did. I mean, he grew up with Ed, of course, but he also grew up with all the, you know, the 2000s, the 90s bands and the stuff that, you know. And so, I mean, he took a different route, but you know, it shows how, you know, what his, you know, where his influences are, and it's not necessarily just Van Halen and classic rock. You know, he definitely, you know, touring with Van Halen gave him a solid beginning, but you know, he went his own route for his album.
Yeah. And by the way, Jim Nicholas, I know that the 07-08 tour was littered with horrible shows because he was using all the way through the first 5 months of that tour. So he was hit and miss every night, mostly miss, and all the way to the February 20th Sunrise, just ridiculousness. But you know, he went to rehab, and that was his final rehab, and he came back in April and finished out all the rescheduled dates and finished strong. I saw 2 of those shows, and he was as good as he's ever been on those shows. So yeah, I mean,
2008 was great.
You know, there's a timeline of events in 2007, and
did you just see that?
What?
Johnny just spatulaed like a rodent out of his car, out of his house.
Oh man, why didn't we isolate?
Replay.
Oh, somebody get that up.
That's great.
See, Ned is killing.
I love how that's
animals.
Okay, let me
get
the story.
Ned upstaging me with this rant.
Well, I saw Mr. Hellstorm's blocked comment says, "What the fuck is Johnny Beane doing?" And I was like, "That's what made me look at the damn at his screen."
You know,
I saw Johnny. He goes. He took his headphones off, and I'm like, "What the fuck just happened?"
You know, a content whore when you see one, though.
background.
You know, a content whore when you see one, though. He didn't kill his camera, right?
It should be good.
He'd kill his camera for anything else, but not for that.
Now he's back.
There it is.
Johnny, you want to explain what was going on?
There it is.
Update.
What happened, John?
Breaking news.
He brought a vole in.
A what?
A what?
A vole?
What the fuck is a vole?
It's like a mole.
Like a mole, but not a vole.
But it's
with a
called
vagina.
vole.
Is that somebody that plays football for the University of Tennessee? What the fuck is that?
He came walking in
vole.
with
I've heard of
it,
vole.
laid it down, tried throwing it around. So I have to go out and get
Vole?
the chuck it and toss it. Yeah.
What the fuck is a frush?
What? What's in the chat? What is a vole?
What's a frush?
It's like a mole. As far as I know, it's just like a mole.
I
It's like-
think
it's
I
like
have
a
a
little-
frush.
It's like a little rat type of thing.
Yeah.
So it's a
He
rat.
brings them in every night. No, it's
it's
not
a
rat,
vole.
though.
A vole is a vole. I mean, it's an actual
vole.
thing, but I don't.
It's like a little chipmunk.
I don't know the
type of-
details.
Did you?
By the way,
did you kill it?
he killed it. It's dead now.
Yeah, he gets them. He gets them all the time.
Back to the Mammoth record. Here's the bad news. The bad news: there's nothing there's nothing new or groundbreaking on this record. It is an amalgam of his influences. He grew up obviously listening to Nickelback and Tool and Alter Bridge and a bunch of other things. All right, so he's not breaking any new ground on the album. It's not groundbreaking. It's not like, oh my God, this is something I've never heard before. That said, he's taken all of the good parts of everything that he's grown up listening to and made that his thing. And I think that, as Caleb and I were talking about earlier this morning, it's not a record that I think that you can truly appreciate on the first 3 or 4 listens. I've been listening to nothing but this album for the past 3 or 4 days. And with every listen through, you hear something not new, but something competent or something that you hear and you go, oh, this is cool. Like, for example, Don't Back Down, which is the single that we were talking about on the chart earlier. That has elements of Mas Tequila from Sammy Hagar in it that I actually liked. It has elements of, there's some songs on the record that have elements of Def Leppard's Photograph. There are some elements of the record that are Tool, and there are certain things that he took from his influences and made.
Cool.
Oh, all right, it's like a big chipmunk.
Poor thing.
But he took elements from all of his influences and sort of molded them into what he does, which is what everybody else would do. Folded them into what he wanted it to be, and just created, again, uninspiring from a groundbreaking or new musical standpoint. It's just a competent record full of better than average songs. And this is the thing that we've all already admitted, that we can't listen to this record objectively because we have an emotional investment in what Wolfgang Van Halen does, and we want him to do great. We want him to be better than he may or may not be. And again, I'm not saying anything as a negative. Like when I say that it's not groundbreaking, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. He took a safe path to songs that I like from Foo Fighters, songs and textures that I like from Mark Tremonti, songs and textures that I like from Tool, and he created a very palatable, digestible, good mainstream rock record. Now, is that going to be enough for him to be successful? Who knows? Only time can tell that answer. But the fact of the matter is, for a debut record, this is fantastic. For a guy who has been under the kind of pressure, and he's under inordinate pressure, he's under the kind of pressure that Julian Lennon and Jacob Dylan and Jason Bonham and so many other sons of legends have had to be under when they
all
come
those
out with
guys
these records.
combined, technically.
Right, no,
All
that's
those
the
guys
point.
combined.
Because the only guy that has a similar pedigree to Edward Van Halen would be John Bonham. And Jason Bonham doesn't do what Wolfgang Van Halen does. Wolfgang plays everything. Is he a master of any of those instruments? No, but he's more than competent in all of them. Like, I don't hear guitar stuff and go, oh my fucking God, I've never heard that before. But what I do hear is, oh my God, he did that really well and sang phenomenally over it while playing a fantastic drum line and a bass line that fits the song. His songwriting structure might be superior to his father's. He might be a better overall songwriter / arranger. Now, how much of that is Elvis Baskett? Who knows? No, I'm not going to stop it. He might be that good, but we don't know. We don't know if he's that good because
we don't know if he's the arranger. We don't know if he's the arranger.
That's my point. We don't know. But as you listen to this record as a debut, it's a fantastic document. Is it groundbreaking? No. Is it fucking world-shattering? No. But it's more than competent. And I think that he should get credit for it.
Do you think he toned it down on purpose?
No.
I think he put 110%. Well, to quote the old gym coach, 110%.
Oh, I bet.
No, I think he did a great job.
He said he had 30 songs, so he's already got his next record. So,
Coach, you give me 110%.
Just gonna go out there and try and put the.
No, I think he put everything, his heart and soul into it. But there is the argument to be made.
I suggest, like 95% of rock records, you gotta go for a ride and listen.
Yep.
It's best in the car.
It's also best if it consumed as a whole unit versus song at a time. Like he released the song at a time. Go and listen to the record and how it's sequenced.
Just keep it going, keep it rolling, and just find your spots. For me, and it's think it over. Still number one, just because I believe I'm a sucker for just good songs and songs that give you the hair standing up on your arm, as his father used to say. So that song to me, of all of them, could be a number one hit that everyone would like. There's something very angsty about it, and I see just everybody in the building digging that one the most when it's being played. I think Epiphany, his vocal performance on Epiphany, probably the best performance on the record as far as the melody created and the performance. It's
and the vibe, the feeling that you get from that song to me is the one that immediately resonates. It's a feeling, like, music is a visceral art form. It's not something that you can quantify just by hearing it. If you feel it, and if it evokes an emotion, That's the first track that did that.
Yeah.
For me.
And then there's Mammoth. I think that song is terrific. It gets better every time I hear it. And I like Stone, a lot.
That was one that stood out for me.
And Horribly Right's a good song.
Horribly Right is sneaky good. Didn't like it the first couple of times I heard it, but then on like song number 4, like listen for number 4 or 5, I'm like, oh shit! Like it suddenly it clicked, and I was like, wow, this is really good.
Right. So what's interesting about these choices, other than Think It Over, these are all the songs I haven't heard yet. So, and then Mr. Ed, I think also is a really good. It's the opener, and there's
what's
something
interesting
really cool about
what's
that
interesting about that, Caleb, is a lot of the reviews that I've seen talk about the quote unquote amazing guitar technique in Mr. Ed, and I don't hear that. What I hear is a guy writing a decent song, not shredding, not overplaying, or doing something that is inordinate or outside the constructs of the song, which again brings me back to songwriting, arrangement, and production. Yeah, the record is very digital sounding. It doesn't breathe a lot. It's not very analog. It sounds, but by the way, it's contemporary. It sounds contemporary.
It's compressed as a mother.
Yes.
Like it's so tight and very, like
it lacks the human element that you would want.
There's not a lot of looseness on the record.
Right.
I'll admit that.
It's very perfect sounding.
But yes, it's very, let's just say there's probably been a bunch of mixes of that record that have come through, and they settled on mix 37 or something. So it's but look, I'm proud of the kid, the 30-year-old. I think for what he's had to come up against, he's holding his own and then some. So I'm happy with it. I'm not disappointed at all. And there's several songs that I really like a lot, and that's all you could ever ask when you deliver music to somebody. Do you like this song? Do you like that song? And the answer is yes for me. So that's my take on the record, and I'm proud of him, and I hope he has a wonderful time on that tour. I don't people talking shit about that tour. Are you kidding me? It's a great tour. He's opening stadiums for the Guns N' Roses. Like, what better situation could he be in?
Yeah,
what better situation?
Who would bitch about that tour?
That's a great tour.
People who don't like Guns N' Roses, people who are so fucking checked out.
Whatever.
They still think Axl keeps the audience waiting 3 hours because he did in 1992. That's how. And most of those people are in that fucking group, Johnny. That stupid group you have.
Thank
you. They're so dumb. It's not even. It's unbelievable to me. Like
casual rock fans.
Axl's a pro now. He's been for a while. So
he can't get away with that shit anymore.
And Slash has never been bad. Slash has never been bad. As fucked up as he was, even when the Snakepit records were coming out, as fucked up as he was when Ain't Life Grand came out, Slash has never not delivered a great fucking live show. He's always great, and Duff is always great. So
I would love to see that tour. I would love to see that tour. I would not leave after Mammoth. I would stay because
nobody's leaving after Mammoth. Don't give me that. That's bullshit. That's just people that want to hate on Guns N' Roses. Look, the Mammoth record isn't great, but it is certainly better than average, and it is one of the better debuts you'll hear from a new rock artist.
You know what's really going to happen, Paul, is that shit's going to sound much better live. It just
maybe we'll see. We'll see if the band that he assembles are as capable on their instruments as he is, and he is more than average capable. Like he's not a master of any one instrument, but he's and basically his best instrument, to be honest with you, is his voice. He is if he assembles a band that is more than proficient with their instruments, those songs are gonna get some life and some energy.
Paul, he did.
Maybe
that band is sick.
We'll see. Sidoris, I know, is good. We'll see.
I think I think whoever he chose are people that can pull off what he's doing. So,
Well, yeah, you'd have to.
And you know that they did the live version of which one, the latest single. They put that
Jump
out.
Don't
What
back
was
down.
it? Quick.
Don't Back Down.
Don't back down. Yeah.
Yeah,
Back down.
they did the live. You go look at that video and tell me
Like you said.
what you think of the band, because that's the
Right.
live band. That's not all Wolfgang. That's the band. So
The band.
We'll see what happens. The
The
band, the band is so good. Look, he's got a great.
band.
1999.
Band is worth $19.99.
I'd pay $19.99 for it.
It's
Never
a
skip.
if you don't like this this record, go back and listen to it again, and maybe after 2 or 3 listens you will, because that's really what it is. It's a record that will click after a few. I texted Caleb this morning and said I'm glad I didn't bail on it.
Wolf secretly leaked the dinosaur video. If anyone didn't,
Maybe,
know,
yeah, it's possible.
just because.
Have we talked about that yet?
No.
Do we have to?
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm glad I saw it, and I know why it wasn't released.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
I felt the same way.
It would have been embarrassing.
My,
And
my
I
brother,
bet
my
you-
brother sent me the YouTube video. I don't know if it was yesterday or today, and I wrote virtually the same thing.
But I think you like most of us were in awe when you first saw that. I was like, "What am I looking at?" You know.
No,
they-
no, I think it was. Aw,
No, I mean, I was like Johnny. I had known the legend.
No,
of
I mean,
the
that-
whole thing.
I could not believe because the guy that
Rolling.
the guy that released it, he tagged me in it. So I got it right away. And as soon as I saw it, I couldn't believe what I was
Right.
seeing
I was
because for years we had just seen stuff like
That's
this.
still right. That's
You know?
still.
I was saying to
And
myself,
they didn't even use that setup in
That's
the,
right,
in the
too,
video.
what the fuck is that? Is
I wanted
that
to
that's the
talk about
dinosaur in the
that, yeah.
background, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a
Some
different
It looks like Barney.
somebody
even
was
use that.
saying actually this is actually might be from another video that they
Yeah,
did.
that doesn't look like the same
Good
shoe.
chance
So-
they filmed-
It's a
they
different
probably-
setup.
So
It's a different dinosaur.
Yes.
yeah, so they might have actually done 2 different videos for 2 different songs and
They probably did Unchained too, and
and-
they you know
Jesus.
brutal.
They did
Nice-
listen. They
nice
did that
back.
in 6 hours tops. They did the entire video in 6 hours tops. I would say.
And
They
and
went
that's in Europe,
in
Italy.
Italy,
Italy.
yeah.
right? Because Alex didn't have his kit,
Right.
So-
That's not Al's kit. Yeah.
and that's glaring, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh,
To
is
me.
it?
Well, I mean, he only had the coolest drum set of all
In
time on that
1989.
tour. So where the fuck is that thing, right?
I don't even
It's
think
a-
he had that on the. I don't think he brought that to Europe. If you look at any of the European
Obviously, or they'd be using
Caleb.
it in a video.
Exactly.
Caleb, Gear Geek question. Do you think that those North drums, do you remember North drums that
Peter?
were sort of angled? No, not we're not throwing ropes.
Yeah, the ones that Al used them in '88.
Yeah, those North drums that were like sort of angular and tapered. Do you think that those are as a result of the 1980 invasion tour? You think because the way that
I don't fucking know.
no, that massive drum kit, do you think that because he had all of those tuned that way that the North Drum Company decided, hey, we're going to make drums that are similar to that
What do you?
without it being sort of an endorsement?
I don't. He didn't have like the 90-degree.
That's my point.
Vented.
I'm
He
sure-
had
I'm
the kick
sure
drums that were articulated.
If you're a drum company, you're going to try and court the top guys in the game, and you especially want to get guys who use a lot of fucking drums, obviously, right?
Well, that was
And,
the guy,
who used more drums than Alex Van Halen. So
Neil Peart.
But what I don't
Right.
understand is he
But-
in the 80 tour he cut out the whole Ludwig logo. It's only got part of the Ludwig logo and it's got the whole cutout of the kick drum head.
Right.
You know what I mean?
but he's
Like,
been, I don't know. He's been Ludwig from day one. So
right.
I
Oh,
think
yeah,
he's
he's
a pretty
that-
loyal dude.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I was shocked to see that, and I thought like they edited that, and then Dave
played it for the band, and I think
like,
I think Alex and Eddie like walked out going, "What the fuck is that shit?"
It was on. I think
But
it was.
it
the
was
TV
released.
Studio. It was the
It
TV
was-
studio.
What?
The TV
Right.
studio in Italy that said, we're gonna go out in 2 hours or whatever, 4 hours. We're gonna make a video and we're gonna play it once on the TV show.
I think it was actually released
in Europe.
I mean, it actually did play. Like what we're seeing is actually taped from TV.
Happy Circus.
The TV.
Yeah, the TV. Right, KXM Rock. Where is that guy?
Well, who knows? We don't know the details of who shot it and what the deal was for them shooting it. So maybe they owned a piece of it, and they had a right to release it. But I bet you they put the squash on that fucker.
Oh yeah,
real quick. So
I do know Happy Circus aired for like 8 months, and that was the show that it was shown on in Italy.
Happy Circus.
Yeah, and that was the end of it. So it probably aired once. Somebody. They had VCRs in the early 80s.
Fucking guys.
Yeah, just Dave doing what he was doing with that dinosaur leg, trying to make it look like one thing, but it really just looked like something else. Sorry. Yeah.
Dave humped a T-Rex.
It was shocking to me because to see
the only people who show their penis in a video.
That's pretty much what I expected from the stills that they had from that.
It's basically like seeing Van Halen because they were bigger than life. They were gods on that Fair Warning tour on that stage. Then to see that, it would be like watching them walking down the street, in Scarsdale in those outfits, like it's
brand new
Scarsdale
scarf.
Yeah, I mean it's just a normal town. There's nothing big and huge about that video, even though there's dinosaurs in it, which was weird to me. Like it you don't want to see them close together even in those outfits. Like they have to be 30 feet apart, right? You know what I mean?
I don't think it was the band's concept at all for that. I mean,
that looks like a garage band, right there.
They said, here's the location, mime the song. That's it.
I do like
you got a cool location. You guys look cool. Mime the
I like
song,
the mismatched boots that Dave is wearing. The yellow and orange boots.
That was the whole 81.
Good look.
That was the whole 81 wardrobe right there in that picture was the whole 81 wardrobe.
It's got to be Dave's idea.
Hey guys, it was the I bet it was the TV studio's idea. We're going to bring you up to a cool location. We're going to, have you look like,
right? You couldn't wear the pink giraffe outfit for that video. Come on.
Dinosaur Park.
That was 81, wasn't it? That's exactly what I expected. When I first saw it, I was watching the video and I'm like, were there actually video? Like, was there some short snippets of video that were released with that? And then I'm like, oh no, this is the whole thing that they filmed. And it was pretty much what I expected, from all the stills that I had seen. And, it's like that makes sense,
Yeah.
And they, like you said, they probably either filmed So This Is Love in 2 locations, like the stills show. They may have done, this setup, then another one.
I read somewhere somebody was saying that they filmed there's another video that they filmed for another one of those songs,
but only one probably made it to air, and the other one's gone to.
And by the way, wasn't this at the tail end of Fair Warning?
November, right?
November, but it aired in '82. It aired in January '82.
Right, so they'd already
what they said.
They'd already finished their tour,
and they didn't even tour Europe. They just did a publicity tour for Europe. They didn't do any live shows in Europe at that time.
So that's
they
interesting.
Just mimed everything.
Yeah.
So what would be the late release off Fair Warning if they were going to keep it going? Because they're probably that record
they
was
actually
on live support, right?
They actually did Pretty Woman in one of those Italian studios. Pretty Woman was, I don't know, John BL would have to look that up. And
well, look at
the early like stage mime to Pretty Woman.
Yeah,
was in Europe somewhere. So maybe it was on that, But then again,
on like a disco stage.
I wonder, but they recorded that in early '82, so I don't think they were in Europe at that time. So, but maybe they did an early publicity tour or something. RAI, RAI was the same TV studio that did the dinosaur video.
Well, they
And
did.
I remember that on the Pretty Woman stage mime.
They released Mean Street Unchained. So This Is Love, and they did release Push
It
Comes
really
to
got
Shove
me,
as a
too.
single.
No way,
So-
really?
Yeah, they released that as a single. So I mean, it didn't do much.
When they were doing those mimes, they did You Really Got Me Too. That was one of the other ones that came out.
Yeah, my point is when you're talking about the 81,
Right.
those shows, those videos over in Italy, Push Comes to Shove was a single, but it didn't do anything.
I'm surprised Hear About It Later wasn't a single because that's
Well, with the video, obviously, you would think it would be.
yeah, it was definitely one of their choices.
Did
Anyway.
any other songs chart like in different countries more than? Let me see what I can find.
Well, it's interesting because at that time, radio stations around America would play the songs that made sense for them in their local city. There are songs that were hits, regional hits, in certain parts of the
Australia.
country that weren't big hits other places. Like, for example, Battle Scar from Max Webster that has Geddy Lee from Rush on it was big in upstate New York, but never did well in Southern California. So there was a time when that was a thing, when radio stations didn't just play the single, whatever the single was, they played what worked in their city. And they did like internal research where, their interns would sit back and call people and go, hey, what are your favorite songs by band X? And they would find the top 3 songs and go, okay, those are the songs we're going to play.
Wikipedia is on top of things. They got the listing. A promotional music video was filmed for the song. The video aired on Happy Circus, an Italian state television station, RAI1, and was filmed at the prehistoric park.
Hang on, I got to let the dog out.
Blah, blah, blah. The video surfaced
Who let
online
the dog out?
June 2021.
Are you reading that blog?
No,
There's a whole
that was,
blog
that was
on it.
Wikipedia. Like it's already up on Wikipedia when you just search So This Is Love.
Wow.
Anyway,
And then the other videos.
I'm glad I saw it, but I totally get it why we didn't see it.
It's
John, have
Lost,
we ever-
Lost Control. Lost Control was another one that was filmed at one of those TV studios or something, or filmed over in Europe, and it only aired once, on European TVs or something. I think that was Australia for some reason. I don't know if that Lost Control.
man.
You guys remember that video?
What?
How you doing, Jay?
I'm running out of gas.
I can tell. Jay gets real quiet and for about 10 minutes, and then he goes, "I gotta go."
I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving just yet.
Okay.
John Biel, we've never seen all this stuff.
What's that?
They did a photo shoot.
Exclusive.
They did a photo shoot.
Yeah, that's one of the. That looks like 80.
Well, for 81, it says.
Yeah, Ed's wearing the.
Yeah, that's 81. Ed has a black pickup in that guitar. There's a white
What's the
pickup
neck
throughout
on it?
80.
Some next level nerd shit going on here.
You got it.
Which one is that, Johnny? That's
Oh, that's 82 with
It's all
the
different.
drum set. Al's got the he never brought his drums. And
Those are
That's 82.
different shoots too. Look at the left picture and the right picture.
what
two
guitar
totally
is that?
different
Too?
charts.
Look at that. Is that a Gibson? Looks
Yeah,
cool.
it's a good. Yeah.
It's a Gibson, yeah.
Wow. Interesting
but-
Gibson.
Ed, that's an 82 Ed look right there. So, and that Floyd, does it have fine tuners yet? I believe it does.
No, oh, does it?
It's funny because the guitar body on that looks wider than the usual Kramer.
It's like a classic Gibson.
That's the Frankenstein, though.
Yeah, it just doesn't look like it in that picture.
What?
Yeah, I've never seen those.
Thanks.
pictures.
Dynamite drop in, Johnny.
What does it say? What music
Look at
video that
Roth.
was for? Because I know it looks. I mean, they were on stage miming something.
It looks like Roth is about to do a hoedown right there.
Again, nice
it's-
boots,
If
Dave.
he's playing acoustic, was it Ice Cream Man? I don't know.
Would have to be,
Yeah,
yeah.
Full bug, maybe.
Look, he's strumming. He's
No, it's
strumming.
not
Remember,
82, though. It's
he
not
hadn't
82.
he had a guitar. He had a guitar out there for Unchained.
He had
And
the
they have-
guitar.
They have
Right,
the guitar.
he used the guitar for Unchained. We don't know what the fuck that was.
Yeah.
But in
All I
that
know is
video
who
up
made the Davesicle.
Johnny probably knows, or somebody knows. That's
I saw somebody posted a really good picture of that guitar in the group.
The Davesicle is
Actually,
awesome.
the
is it an
Davesicle.
actual, like full real
Popsicle?
acoustic under like a I don't think it's a real popsicle, but
The only
Are you
thing I
sure?
or is
the
it a
only-
completely homemade guitar?
Yeah,
The only
only
guys
re-
that put popsicles in their
Ah,
guitars.
beautiful. Well played.
Nice.
The only reason he'd be playing an acoustic in that time era would be the full bug.
That's not 82.
Full
though.
bug or
It's
ice cream,
before
man.
82, right? Or
The full bug is
Could This Be
82.
Magic? They wouldn't do Could
Yeah.
This Be Magic.
No.
No.
He's just miming something. He's playing, playing along with it.
Do you think maybe it might have been Secrets?
No, that's 81. It's got I mean, Johnny, is that what we
No, that's 82.
what's it say? Does it have a
it's
year on there?
listed? It's listed under 81.
Oh, it could be Big Bad Bill.
German TV Unchained.
Okay,
It
well,
wouldn't
no.
not what November
Then
9th.
it's
That's
just- then it's a-
81.
November
That makes sense.
16.
November 16th.
But those
that-
pictures under it are not 82.
well, are they wearing the same? They're
Different
wearing the
look.
same outfits
No.
in the.
They're not.
Oh,
Different.
Ed's wearing a black, but is that looks like his red and white striped shirt, except it's black and
It's
white.
not. It's loose. Nerd stuff.
Yeah.
And those sunglasses Dave's wearing are from 82.
How about those leopard pants? And it's got the army shorts too.
Look at Ed's
Go
shirt.
down to the full photo at the
black
bottom.
button shirt. That's from the 82, early 82 photo
Yeah,
shoot.
you might be right. I think you're right. Maybe that was because there was when I was talking about the Pretty Woman studio lip sync. That's probably the same one that they did, but maybe they were doing Secrets or something, or Full Bug. Maybe they did a whole mime performance. What was that? November 16th?
Well, it looks like there should be footage of this event. So
Mhm.
where is it? Who's going to dump that next?
Well, I think we've seen it. I think because there are so many studio between 81.
No,
and
we've never
82.
seen this stuff.
I've never seen Dave holding that guitar.
I guess you're right. Yeah, but what neck?
Can
is
you
on?
imagine having to
What's
be
that
one of the
playing on?
roadies? Can you imagine having to be one of the roadies and dealing with the fact that Dave needs fucking guitar techs? Think about that for a second. Man, you better make sure I got my 2 guitars ready to go. Can you imagine having to fucking be David Lee Roth's guitar tech? That would suck.
He played that Sparkle 335 for a while on the 82 tour. He's played the Sparkle 335, and
I understand that, but just like
he's had
being
That'd be the
Dave's
easiest
tech.
gig, though, Paul. You have
It
to worry
wouldn't-
about.
Yeah, it wouldn't suck if he kept picking your pussy pass.
Well, but you know what I'm saying? It's like
You
David
know?
Lee
Who
Roth.
knows?
he
That
play-
guy might have had a really good, P-Pass record and made the most money on the tour.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, just dealing with Dave in 20-minute increments that I've had to deal with, I can't imagine fucking dealing with him on a tour.
Oh man, imagine him being like his personal assistant.
That's my point.
Oh my god!
Now his
It was
old
a chick.
manager,
It was a girl.
his old manager Matt Sensio, he and I used to work together at the Hard Rock Cafe in Boston. And when I found out he got that gig, I was like, "Holy shit!" But when the DLR band record came out, his assistant was a girl named Christine, and I was one of the only people that added Slam Dunk in 1998 to the radio station I was programming at the time. And I remember calling Christine. She was tracking the record, which is what happens when a band gets their record added at a radio station. Somebody from the label will call and say, "Hey, how's our record doing? Are you thinking about moving it up into more rotation, more spins per week, and all that stuff?" So I'm on the phone with Christine, and I hear in the background, and I'm like, "What's going on here?" And she's like, "Nothing. David is here." So I go, "Christine, let me ask you a question." I go, "Is this kind of like a Jerry Maguire situation?" And she just starts fucking laughing. And I hear in the background, What the fuck are you laughing at? What are you saying? Who are you on the phone with? Oh my God, Christ. And it literally was, she eventually confessed to me that it literally was like Jerry Maguire. It was Dave in a closet office with a desk and a phone, and Christine making these phone calls to people all around the country to track the record. David Lee Roth was a one-man operation. That whole What Was That Records, which was the label that put out that DLR band record with John 5 on it. That was Dave all around. It was a complete like DIY thing. What a nightmare it was for her to be his secretary / record rep / manager / all of these things. And Sensio said the same thing. He's like, you wouldn't even know what it was like to deal like with 24 hours of David Lee Roth. He's like, you can't even imagine what it's like.
My God, that's got to be
terrible. So now that's David Lee Roth in 1998 when his prime is certainly past, and Sensio got him right before the tour with Sammy Hagar. Right now, imagine him in 1981 when Van Halen are one of the biggest fucking bands on the planet, and being his guitar tech. How miserable that had to be. Like we've seen the videos where he's obviously making fun of whatever sound guy, Johnny or whomever he wants to use, but we even heard it on the Tokyo Dome record.
Spotlight, asshole.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, can you imagine having to work for that fucking guy? That, by
Johnny,
the way,
here's the video.
And again, I say all of this as one of the biggest David Lee Roth fans you'll ever meet, but still, holy
You found
shit.
it, man?
I think so.
Gotta be exhausting.
Get some more feedback in the monitor.
Johnny, a little more feedback, Johnny. Y'all don't want to hear some feedback. You want to hear some goddamn rock and roll.
CK wants to know why we constantly say 99
It's the same drum set, it looks like.
and never a skip.
Never skip 1999.
Mics are in the same.
Obviously, you guys is talking like Kiwis.
I don't know.
Yeah. That's Johnny's New Zealand laugh.
99.
It's the difference between New Zealand and Australian, right? You all don't know the difference.
Man, that 99 was getting me all night. Or at the end of the show, and then the next day, I was giggling about it. I was telling Jean, and I had to show her the clip, and then she started laughing.
Yeah, did you see that time that the Los Angeles Kings played an exhibition game in Australia? It was at centre from Brantford, Ontario.
Nah.
Number 99, Wayne Gretzky.
Nah.
99.
Nah.
Oh man, we don't do that for any specific reason. Caleb just did it last week, and it's become a staple. It really has.
I got Jay good.
Oh yeah, he got me good.
It was a I remember hearing something similar to that. What was the song? It was Men at Work's Cargo. You gonna be a football player there now, dear Johnny? Nah. It was actually in a song. They put that stupid accent. Nah.
Oh, and then
I think I fell in love with that accent watching golf, like in the late 90s, early 2000s. Back in 1999, I was watching the golf, and I think
The golf,
and
watching the golf.
And they had an Australian.
He's watching the golf.
They had an Australian commentator, and he would say, "Let's go over to 13." And I just thought that was the funniest way to say 13. It was basically there's a D in 13. So
I fell in love with it from Steve Irwin, man. You might want to watch out, slob with the butt.
Watching Flight of the Conchords was it for me.
Oh, yeah. We used to watch that.
Yeah.
hey, I gotta reach out here to the chat and say, hey, CK, man, thanks for all the comments. I appreciate it. Usually I'm getting the opposite, so I'm having a good night. It's good.
The never a skip.
I think it was the San Remo Festival. That's what keeps coming up.
What?
The San Remo Festival was that where that picture might have been taken. Those they were in 1982. They
1982. 1982.
About 1979.
Okay.
Van Halen 2.
I'm sorry, there are no T's in our language.
I know that one, John. Yeah, I know that one was on the same collection of videos.
Same. Yeah, that's all. I think they only did Pretty Woman.
Back in 1989, there was a hiatus between OUA12.
We was on holiday.
And for unlawful carnal knowledge.
Canon knowledge. Canal.
Of course, yeah, back in 1969, I was born.
I remember 1980. AE. There's no T's in that language.
I guess another good one would be 1939.
1939.
39.
Can I get a patty like it's 1999?
But nothing beats 1999.
By the way, fun fact, the vocal line for 1999 and the vocal line for Manic Monday, same vocal line.
Is it really?
Dun, 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 dun. Listen to the lead vocals of it.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yep. Same tempo, same cadence.
2000 party over. Oops, out of time.
All the time. Right, at a time we're going to party like it's 1999.
So tonight
1999
party like it's 1999.
Just another. I was dreaming when I wrote this. Forgive me if it goes astray. Same song. Prince wasn't the genius we think he was.
Then the third time's the charm.
Third time a charm, then, eh?
Oh, that's good shit. Just have an Australian read the lyrics to that song.
the free time to sit back and listen to it. But
are they live?
What an album.
Oh, no
That's
shit.
an absolute classic. What do you guys think?
Is it time for an early raid?
For me, it just took me back to when I first started learning guitar. And
we got
I wish we could merge shows. That'd be awesome.
Brad Cook.
How about this one?
Brad's a good dude. I like him a lot. We went live the other night. We got 11 followers. It was great on Instagram.
I was expecting 99 followers,
99,
but there was
right?
only 11.
I feel bad because it feels like we're shitting on him, but it's really appreciation.
No, it totally is, and I don't want anyone watching this back thinking I'm making fun of the accent. I think it's
love it so much, but scared at the same time because
scared, right,
everything like that. It was obviously, just the persona they put on, but
we're too stupid to get out.
Right, stupid. Is that what you say? Right.
Hashtag never.
By the way, Australians are fucking awesome. Australia and New Zealanders as well.
New Zealand.
Oh, yeah.
All rat bags.
New Zealand.
I'd love to go.
Yeah, be careful though, because everything over there will kill you.
Especially those guys.
You're making fun of our show, have you?
We're glad you're here.
There's more.
Give them 99 of these.
99 noogies is what you're getting.
That's a knife.
What's the knife?
99.
The fucked up part about it is like I think, and if somebody could research this if they wanted to, John Biel. I think there are more venomous animals and like ways to die in Australia than anywhere on the planet. They're like snakes and spiders, and
but they're
rats
normal
and
to them.
lizards and shit. Yeah, like they're like, for example, you live in California, you don't worry about earthquakes. You're like, all right, well, an earthquake's sort of a thing. People in the Midwest are like, all right, tornado sirens go off every once in a while. People in New England are like, all right, hurricanes and nor'easters, we get them. Over in Australia, they're like, all right, venomous shit. I mean, you could die cleaning out your garage, or maybe Ned brings a bowl into the fucking room. Who knows? They don't give a shit over in Australia or New Zealand. They just don't care. They're the most laid back people.
Is that true?
Oh yeah.
So
Girth Brooks, ask them that.
Girth.
That's one of the best names ever, by the way.
Girth Brooks.
So
John Biel.
I just sent you guys 3 different versions of Unchained from 82.
Have we seen that one?
Do you know
from
you
TV
guys,
Studios?
any of you guys ever heard of the band Airborne?
All
right, see, Airborne.
Where'd you send it?
To our, was it? Oh, did I send it?
You're sending it. Oh no, you're waking up Rob Johnson.
Oh, okay.
You're sending it to me and Rob.
That's all right.
Boy,
You sent it to Nestor.
I haven't seen any of that.
Oh, you'll definitely hear about it later.
All right. Yeah. Oh. See what I did there?
So there's a band from Australia called Airborne, and they sound a lot like AC/DC. But this is Australia in a nutshell. These guys get their first record deal on Roadrunner Records, and they're going out on their first tour, and they have a band.
Roadrunner Records.
Roadrunner Records.
Roadrunner.
And they're getting ready to go out on their first tour, and they've got a band house, like is often the case. You know, bands will sometimes live together as roommates and shit like that. And they decide, okay, here's the bus, put on the equipment, put it all on the bus, and they set their house on fire. That's Australia. They just did. Their give a fuck did not exist. That's how cool those guys. Like I root for that band immediately because they're like, fuck it, we're not coming back to this house. We're going out on the road, and we're gonna fucking make it.
Got no more fucks to give, mate.
No more fucks to give, mate. We're going on doing our thing. Airborne. Airborne.
Airborne.
Airborne. And if you Google later on or you YouTube later on, Airborne at Wacken, they are fucking outstanding. Granted, the music is not very original. It sounds like AC/DC with Bon Scott, but holy shit do they put out, and the Wacken fans love them.
Thank you, Sherman. Sherman Callahan. Oh, no, Garth Brooks is over there saying, say DVD. Say 1999.
That's so
old.
They
just
oh
shit.
DVD
my
is
fault.
old.
Jesus.
I'm responsible for that.
Unbelievable.
Right.
Well, I'm happy to dive into this album if you guys are.
He's happy. Yeah, we're happy. We're happy to listen to that album if you are.
Thanks, Girth. Fuck.
I'm ready to dive into this DVD.
I'm ready to dive into this album, eh?
I think I sent you guys the 82.
By the way, is John BL doing a different show tonight?
Yes, he is.
I'm doing my own research. You guys are talking amongst yourself. I'm about 20 minutes behind, but I'm still doing my, checking up on these.
We're laughing over here.
I'm laughing.
Oh no, Mark's gonna get us in trouble. Mark Tanner is over there saying that we're live right now.
To the 21st of June.
We go live every Saturday night.
Yeah, this is not news to anybody.
Yeah, this is our fucking slot.
No, but he knows you guys are saying all this.
And then at midnight, we're gonna fucking raid their show. This is what we do.
Was there?
Right.
They have 14 watching.
Yeah, and how many do we have?
You mean 14?
14 watching. No tease.
14.
Let's talk to me when they get up to 18.
18.
So what's a sentence with a lot of T's? Turkey.
Man, Roth in this live performance, man. John, did you watch this?
What show are you watching, Jay?
The one from
the TV?
Is it Germany, Spain, or France?
So did we figure out what song it was?
Unchained, where he's playing the guitar?
Unchained. No, it's not that one. No. And he's got the red Waldo shirt on.
Mm-hmm. I think I've seen all those. Right,
Keith Campbell asked, are they going to raid here? I don't think so. Nobody raids this show.
Nope.
That's the German Unchained.
Yep.
The German Unchained?
The German. German Unchained.
Which one has the same drum set? I think was it the one in Germany or the one in France that has that?
Define the sound.
Yeah, maple-looking drum set.
Right then. Right, obviously we're still.
We got like 4 shows going on here. We got the
in West history.
Paranoid were evolved during.
Most of the songs on Paranoid were evolved during onstage. And Tony Iommi recalls that War Pigs came from one of the club jams. It was just in the middle of Warning, which is on Black Sabbath.
They're on lockdown. They're on serious lockdown.
They just started to jam that out. And he just started going dun, and then they
I remember when
that down, and that's where
slowing it down.
Whole idea originated from.
We've officially run out of shit to talk about.
So
Good night, everybody.
as we go through
Good
these
night,
songs, one step, stuff. Yes, they did in live performances.
Jesus.
The album was meant to be called War Pigs. So the photo of a man dressed as a pig with a sword was already done.
War Pigs.
I'm sure
But the
it was.
record company didn't think the title would work, so
Record.
last minute they changed it to Paranoid, and they didn't change the album artwork. So interestingly enough, that's why the album cover doesn't really make sense.
You got it,
But
Renus.
it's a cool album cover, really, when you think about it. I don't know if you want to show the photos there, Andrew. Yeah, excellent. Good timing.
The good part about it is
there's the,
Paranoid's not a
album
record
cover
that's
that's
been
so
in-depth
iconic.
reviewed at all.
The guy dressed as a pig with a sword. It makes no sense at all.
That's the good part about it is nobody has sat down and done an in-depth review of Paranoid of Black Sabbath. It's not like it's an important record.
The album or the whole record. Not my favorite Black Sabbath album.
For the record, I'm close to 15 beers in.
15.
No.
Yeah.
15. Make it 18.
Say it without a T.
I'd be in the hospital if I had 15 beers. All right, that's
15.
He's 3.
That's only 3, Paul.
there.
No, we don't need evidence.
You're
of all
muted.
of them. We don't
You're
need
muted.
evidence of all of them.
Yeah, these 3 in like the last 20 minutes.
Okay.
No.
Where the
Yes.
other 12?
I'll go grab them if you want.
No. You don't
Yeah.
All right.
Take us to the pool.
the
Okay, Chris
bathroom
Holmes.
pool. The toilet pool.
What is it? Look at all these guys.
Was that Paul falling down on the floor?
They review Sabbath as well as Van Halen. Yes, they do over there. They're good. They're good dudes. It might sound it might sound like we're, not being nice, but no, we're cool.
Not me. I didn't say nothing.
What?
I didn't say 1999 without saying a T in it.
Oh, yeah, that's. I love that accent, man. I wish I could do that all the time. Sometimes Jeannie has me order, like if we go to like the
Talk
we
like
gotta-
an Australian.
We gotta get them to say that's not a knife.
I just
That's-
dropped one.
That's
Oh my god.
That one's filled.
how many of those are filled with pee?
Grandpa's old cough medicine.
He's not going on a road trip.
Suck him back in a little of Grandpa's
Hey.
old cough medicine.
9, 10,
Look it down, chili dog.
11.
And I
Suck
threw
it out.
3 away in the first hour.
All right. Looks like about 15.
In the past 3 hours.
3, 2.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, at least Keith's enjoying the show tonight. He says loving this show.
Good.
Thank you,
I'm
Keith
gonna drop 2
Campbell.
more.
I think you meant to type it in the other show's chat.
Ah!
Come back more.
Do you drink to
Yeah.
get chick?
Somebody screenshot that and send it,
Oh, good idea.
please. And thank you, Sherman Callahan.
Oh, that's perfect.
Callahan's Auto Parts. I can't. I should be able to do the Chicago accent better, considering I grew up there, born there. But that's long gone.
Long gone. That's Long Island gone.
Is this more on number 1? Put more on number 2 on the phone.
Yeah.
What about the Minnesota accent?
What?
Minnesota.
Minnesota almost has it's borderline Canada for some of the stuff they say, especially like northern Minnesota. Minnesota.
What was it? Fargo? Fargo was the head. Yeah, that was the best Minnesota accent in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that Fargo like North Dakota?
Yeah, but I think it was a Minnesota. It was,
Yeah,
some of it took place in Minnesota, I think.
it's
Minnesota.
Fargo, Minnesota.
Minnesota, eh?
Minnesota. Anyway,
Who's
Who's?
if anybody's jumping back and forth between, get them to say that's not a knife.
See, they probably look at that as so annoying. Like, oh my god, these guys.
We had them do that.
I like the way it sounds.
So do I. I'm just saying. They probably look at it as annoying. Like, oh my god.
Have them play annoying.
Hey, let's come up with some things that they think would be funny about Americans.
They don't think we are. That's the thing.
They park the car.
They're used to this. Listen, talk to anybody from any other country. They'll say that we sound the way we talk. I know there's a slight differences in certain words,
And
but
we all look alike.
they're used to how we sound because they watch American TV and movies. So we don't sound.
And that's why a bunch of them do American accents better than Americans.
Dude, what's the Dr. House? Dude.
Yeah.
I saw, like, he got up on stage accepting an award, and I was like, what? Who's that? Is he putting on that voice?
Right. Like Russell Crowe, when you first saw Russell Crowe, he was doing an American accent, and you're like, wait a minute.
Yep.
Or Hugh Jackman, you didn't even know. Like they're
Christian Bale.
Yep, Christian Bale.
And who's the guy? Who's the guy that was House?
Mel Gibson. I said House.
Oh, yeah.
I said the House guy.
Oh yeah, I was getting more beer.
More brewski. Yeah, a lot of those guys, man, do that.
A lot of them.
It's crazy, but they're used to hearing it all the time.
Nicole Kidman, she does a good one.
And credit where credit is due. You got guys like Ben Affleck and Matt Damon who have horrible Boston accents and are able to lose that. Yeah, losing. Well, Tom Hanks is from Sacramento. There's no accent in Sacramento.
No, when he did the Boston accent, what was it? Catch Me If You Can.
Right.
Yeah, it was pretty corny.
Good movie.
Yeah, the worst Boston accent of all time has got to be Robin Williams in Good Will Hunting. Garbage.
Garbage.
Or as they'd say in Southie, garbage. The only time the accent comes out is when you're drunk.
The fun thing to do is like when I talk to Cameron Brown on the phone, obviously heavy Scottish accent.
Sure.
What me and Jeannie will be like, she'll be like, hey, tell Cameron to say whatever, but we would.
So you do it to him.
Yeah, we do it to Cameron, but we tell him to talk like us. And it's so funny hearing somebody with a way different accent talk like we talk. It's so funny.
Do you guys get the Sam Adams commercials out there?
Yeah,
your cousin from Boston.
Your cousin from Boston.
He's really pretty good Boston accent.
You know what Australian accent sounds fake?
Say hella.
The Outback Steakhouse commercials. Like it sounds like that's somebody putting on that accent.
Oh yeah, right? And they're awful.
Yeah, they're awful, right?
Yeah. I've listened to those for years going, fucking I can do that.
Yeah, it's interesting because in broadcasting you have to have what they call the generic American accent, which is like a Midwestern accent that has no
Ohio
regionalism at all. Yeah, Ohio, Indiana. What? Sorry, Lemmy has decided to chime in here. Hi, baby
Lemmy.
girl.
It's his accent.
Yeah, it's Lemmy's accent. Yep. But yeah, you have to lose what they call a regionalism so that you can work anywhere in the country. And you have if you're living in Louisiana or Mississippi, your radio station doesn't have that accent.
No,
there are very few people that have an accent on the radio, and if they do, they're usually locked into one area of the country. There was a guy named Eddie Andelman in Boston that had the worst Boston accent. That guy was never going to be able to get out of that city. And that's what these guys in Australia, more power to them, but they're going to be Australian forever.
Who was that, Johnny? And should we?
They're never going to skip out.
Johnny, let's check back in on Facebook.
That was Keith Campbell.
Never.
Renus Pinkel is over there trying to get them to say annoying. He's trying to get them to say David Lee Roth, Pen 15.
David E. Roth, Pen 15, right?
David Lee Roth.
Here we go.
Song that's based around. Everyone sort of thought it was more satanic, but I think it had more of a war connotations to it.
He highlighted that comment.
It's got a very scary, spooky intro.
I see hear Sam
intense
Kennison.
bass playing, on the drums. It's fucking infectious. Say it! It's got an air raid siren, which is the Johnny Bean raid air raid siren.
Right. Johnny Bean raid's happening.
It adds to the anxiety
Johnny
feeling
Bean rage.
that the song's got. And then the song obviously kicks in with that dunna, and from the first line.
Right. Are they still talking about Paranoid? The record is only 35 minutes long.
They're talking about the song War Pigs.
Right,
Yeah,
War
War
Pigs.
Pigs.
Right, yeah. Then I remember they did that. It was like then, and it was like, and then it was like 8, and there was like 8 cymbal kick, right? And then they went
No, it's
then
11
again, and then they went
Then
then
Ozzy
again,
comes in.
and then Ozzy comes in and he says, "Generals gathered in the masses."
He rhymes masses with masses.
Just like witches and black masses.
Rhyming masses with masses. It's classic.
Robot Master Switch is telling them that we're watching them, commenting on them right now.
Son of a bitch.
We're gonna do a crossover show.
This period of time.
All I'm saying is this show is
1969.
It's that late 60s, early 70s period. It was phenomenal.
1969.
90s?
90s.
90s.
All of them.
Late 90s.
I think it was 1970. I was paranoid.
I just would like to change the subject for a second. Can you imagine if somebody came in here and tried to heckle this show? How fucking merciless we would be. They'd have to call a therapist on Monday.
Bring it.
They'd be like, "Come on, come get some, come get some." Like, can you imagine if like 5 Australians came in here and they're like, "Hey, Yanks, come get some." We're like, "Hey, fuck you, you criminal pricks."
Wow. Wow.
No.
This is Paul, 15 beers in.
What?
All 15.
Intensity and power within one song.
All
It's a
15.
20 out of 10 for me. It's never
20 out of 10.
Never a skip, you hear him? That's
20 out of 10.
next.
He had 20 out of 10 tonight.
19 out of 10 for me.
19.
It was intended. War Pigs was intended to be called War Pigs.
War Pigs is a great song, and that's off of that album. That and Planet Caravan are the two. I think that's Planet Caravan, right?
Name the album until it was changed to Paranoid after the record company.
It might be sacrilegious, but I think the Pantera version of Planet Caravan is better than the Sabbath version.
I mean, he explained.
Dime's phrasing in that is fantastic at the end.
Well, the recording of the Black Sabbath version is so low, and it's hard to even. It's
Did they do it at your house?
they did it in the back of my studio.
Beautiful.
They did it over here.
Well,
yeah.
They certainly didn't do it.
Caleb just has a thing with my voice. I guess I'm very.
Do Caleb and John Biel have beef? They have beef.
No.
It's really good fun.
I just mumble.
Here, listen to this.
That clearly in that is a lot of stuff about
Stop talking.
class references.
You're right.
Vietnam War and things, because
Robot Master Switch brought up a good point. Now they've got us talking about their podcast, their stream.
It's a vicious circle.
They've won.
Yep, they won.
The terrorists have won.
What?
Yeah, do you know what? One of the things I'd forgotten.
I thought that was Caleb for a second.
No, that was
Sorry. Just don't want to talk over you guys, so keep it really
Why start now?
Oh, wow.
Well, it's funny because Jay hasn't said anything for John Biel to interrupt recently, so.
I'm waiting.
Start talking, Jay, so we can hear John Biel.
Oh my God.
Beautiful.
Mumbly Joe.
You really should be in Canada right now.
Yeah, it should be. Yeah.
You almost made me spit beer out.
I'd like to thank our sponsors.
Sponsors.
Who's sponsoring that show now? Fucking like.
It's
By the way, as you're saying this, Caleb, Eric, the
Randall's
number one
Pork
Van
Rinds,
Halen host, is posting in chat.
Randall's Pork Rinds. What?
I said, as you're saying this, Eric, the number one Van Halen host, is
Tim
posting
Hortons.
in chat.
Is he in the chat?
Tim Hortons in Montreal Poutine.
That's a fast fucking write-up. Whoever did that on their name.
Beautiful.
Wow.
Fucking fantastic.
Brilliance.
They play completely different riff, completely different chord sequence.
Speaking of talking over.
It's fantastic. You know,
By the way, well, you guys probably weren't paying attention, but while we were doing this, 3 more beers.
No.
Just get a
You're gonna be
funnel full.
okay.
He's got nowhere to go. He's just gonna pass.
Look at him,
it
he's
on.
sweating. He's sweating.
He is sweating. Look at him.
That's tear. That's a tear from laughing.
He's
Sweating yeast.
That's a beer tear.
Paul's
Yeah,
sweating.
it's a tear from laughing.
Paul's
There's a
sweating
bit.
yeast right now.
There's a beer in his tear.
That's my favorite Dr. Seuss. Dr. Seuss.
There's a bulge in his shirt.
Seuss.
There's a bulge in your shirt. I think it's your liver is like crying out.
It's my favorite Dr. Seuss record.
Seuss.
Tooth.
Suddenly, I became Mike Tyson there for a second.
The toothsayer.
Dr. Seuss.
He's the toothsayer.
It's clear. It's clear. It's clearly
dare-
that was going to do with
Marina.
I dare you to go up to Mike Tyson.
Teeth, your tears.
I dare you to go up to Mike Tyson and say soothsayer.
Funny. I actually ran into Mike Tyson at
Soothsayer.
Logan Airport once. He was wearing jorts, like a jorts overalls. It was fucking ridiculous. But I wasn't going to tell him that.
Nice shorts.
Nice shorts, Mike. Your outfit is ludicrous.
Ludicrous.
He's a big guy, isn't he? Like 6 feet.
No.
No,
No, he's like
no, he's
5'10".
like 5'9".
I thought he was a
Yeah,
tall
he's
guy.
5'9", 5'10".
I thought it was always a myth that he was like a little like a.
No, it's a myth.
No, he's tiny.
That's why every punch is an uppercut.
Yeah.
Yeah, but his thighs are the size of a Buick.
His
The most
thighs.
dangerous man ever.
He was in his prime the greatest boxer I'd ever seen.
Oh, yeah.
He wasn't a boxer; he was a fighter.
And
Yeah,
beat-
but he was.
Wrecked people.
But he had technique too. Like he had
Sure.
everything. Yeah, he
Sure,
had
but
everything.
he was all going for one punch.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't want to score. He wasn't going for score.
No. He wasn't
Johnny's out of here.
Looking for your
Yeah,
butt.
look, he's gonna go look for another bowl.
Yep, sports talk. You want to get Johnny out of here? Sports talk.
Yeah. Sports or Rush or Metallica.
Sports are rush.
Metallica, yeah.
Or start saying negative things about Van Halen.
Oh yeah, or PV
He
guitar,
cries. He cries about it.
or HP2s.
HB2 suck.
Johnny's with you on that one.
By the way, let's get into it because Johnny has had it sitting there for 2 hours and 41 minutes. Hey, Johnny, what's up with that guitar behind you?
This guitar?
Good question.
Yeah, that guitar.
Right here? Oh, man.
Oh, no.
See, not too drunk to pay attention to the show.
This is awesome, man.
What pickups are in that?
Wolfgang.
59.
Wolfgangs.
Wolfgang
Oh, I
pickups.
love the flat black. That's a Japanese body, isn't it?
Chinese.
It's a Chinese stealth.
It's a Chinese stealth
Yeah.
body and neck.
What are the pickups?
Wolfgang pickups
Why is one covered?
because they have covered versions.
And
Cover
where did that come from? Did you have that, or did Adam slap that in there? What happened?
I had it and I sent it to Adam, and somebody at Adam's slapped it together.
Okay.
With the pickup cover? Did you have the pickup cover on before?
No, that's how they come.
Oh,
And so
If
was that the
the
neck that
Chinese
snapped?
come looking like that?
Wait a minute. What?
Was
The
that-
Chinese come looking with one covered pickup?
No. This guitar was totally custom.
Totally.
Is that
So was that neck? Is that a new neck?
It's the Jay Hannon neck.
Okay. So what happened to the snap neck? Just garbage?
No, it was fixed. It was
And where's that?
repaired.
So what are you doing with that?
It's still it's going to be sent eventually, and it's going to be
Still
put back
working
on the body. Yeah, the body's back there, back in there.
Wait, so that's a completely different guitar?
Yeah.
Then
How
why are
many
we talking
Wolfgangs
about
do you
this
have?
one? Why are we talking
The-
about this one? I thought we were talking about the one you got repaired.
Well, this one
Yeah.
was just put together, literally.
How many broken guitars do you have?
How many half guitars do you
All
have?
my guitars are broken.
And who paid for any of this? Nobody.
Are you in here, man?
You-
A channel member had this put together.
Oh.
Oh, look at you. Johnny gets free stuff again. Shocking.
Oh, it's awesome, man. Yeah, I mean, this is something that I already had. I mean, everything here was just sitting back there in pieces, and we had it put together. And yeah, it's totally custom. Totally, you never see a stealth.
I
flat-
customized that neck pocket myself.
Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah, that's a Jay Hannon neck, right?
Yep,
What did that come off of, Jay?
Customized the neck pocket, so you have to put a brass
I was
shim
gonna
in.
say, and you had to put in
You put half an inch of steel metal.
That thing goes through the metal detector now.
You might want to watch that. It's liable to sit it off.
What did that
Sean's
neck
really
come off of,
loud.
Jay?
What?
Jay, what did the neck come off of?
I ordered that neck, or I bought that neck by itself to put on the guitar that you bought from me because I hate the frets on that thing. So I wanted to get the stainless vintage frets. So I bought that neck to swap out, but the neck pocket or the bottom base of the neck on that guitar was thicker than the Mexican neck.
So the
heel.
guitar you sold me had shitty neck pocket.
No.
No, it just wasn't his fret preference.
Paul,
If
try
you,
and-
yes,
fucking with you.
I took both necks off, and the Mexican neck thickness was thinner at the heel than that one was. So Johnny convinced me one night, knowing that I would eventually give it to him. Johnny convinced me that night to friggin' sand it down by hand. And I took
Never a
off
skip.
took off a little too much. Yeah, I didn't skip any strokes on that thing. So I sanded off.
Never
way
a
too much.
shim, except in
Never.
that
Never.
Yeah, I sanded it off and
Never.
screwed it up. And it ended up just being like a decoration. I had it back there on my amp just hanging. So I was like, you know what? Johnny has half a guitar there. I'll send him the neck, and if it ever does anything, good for him. And he did,
And
which was awesome.
and that's what friends do.
Yep.
Thank you again, man.
And now Caleb is going to show an unrelated guitar right now.
Wolfgang. Pull out your Wolfgang.
Whip out your Wolfgang.
Whip out your Wolfgangs.
Whip it out.
Everybody in the chat. Everybody in the chat, whip out your Wolfgangs.
Mine's too fat.
Too far for me to get. I'll grab my Wolfgang on the way over to get more beer.
Wow, man.
How
You
many?
need a few more.
A lot.
What are you at now? What's that
24?
one?
What were we at? 15 before?
Did something happen, Paul? Is everything okay?
So 19.
Not 19.
19.
9 beers, and
Minute,
You're not
minute
even
and
close to Boggs.
it's like it's like a sip and a half per, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's the problem.
A
Look,
fifth.
that's the fucked up part. When your mom's an alcoholic, you develop a tolerance for it, right?
Totally.
And a 12-ounce beer is like 2 or 3 sips and it's gone.
A tolerance?
Andre.
Tolerance. And you got to understand, it's fucking 105 here in Arizona. So cold beer goes down really, really quickly.
You're sweetening
Who's
it
that
out.
going, eh?
Well, that
Well,
stuff's like water though too.
Yeah, that's the other thing is it's not like this is real beer.
Right.
Bud Light.
Sorry,
Beer
potential
flavored
sponsor.
water.
Light.
Yeah, it's light, so I don't get fat.
Who is it? Who's
Paul,
that?
do you ever go for Boggs?
Not me.
Record?
Check, mate.
What?
Check.
The
Right.
Boggs record?
Caleb. Is that you?
Is it?
Is that you? I don't know. Is
Hear
it me?
echoing?
I don't hear anything.
That means
Yeah, who's got the echo?
Echo. I hear it.
I hear it.
I don't.
if you don't,
That's
that means
you.
you.
Gary Bucknoff, I'd love to drink IPAs, but I'm heterosexual.
Fuck you guys.
Fuck no. Isn't it Butchnoff?
It's Bushnoff.
Not even
It could
Gary.
be.
Is it Gary?
I don't know. He's just making.
I've
did
never
I
known your
just-
first
did I
name
just-
either.
Did I just
It's actually
assume his
Gordon.
front name?
I've always known him as G.
G.
I don't know,
Butchnoff.
Gary. Gary Bucknoff.
No,
Is your name Gary?
It's,
I
it's
just-
Jeff with
I
a G.
I just assumed.
Wait, did Paul say Gary? Did Paul say G?
I might have said Gary.
Skip.
It's Greg. His name's Greg.
Greg, God damn it! I'm sorry. Gary Bucknoff. Gary Bucknoff. I'd like to apologize wherever you are.
Bushnoff.
I don't know why it's funny, but that is. Gary Bucknoff.
Yeah, no, it's very funny. I just assumed it was Gary. I assumed it was Gary because of Gary Sharon, who was the completely underrated vocalist for Van Halen. Give credit to Gary for attempting all of the catalog.
Attempting, for delivering on a lot of the catalog.
Oh, no, absolutely.
Some of the best live versions of the deep tracks.
It's funny because Gary, a guy who was in a band that was not quite as big as Van Halen, I think we can
not
admit
quite.
that.
Yeah,
not quite as big.
Who was the guitar player in that?
But here's the thing. Yes, go ahead, Johnny. Fucking post your picture.
That Badger.
Paul Gilbert was in that band.
But the point being, give credit to Gary, who, by the way, had bigger hits than Sammy Hagar ever did.
Oh.
Did Sammy Hagar ever have a #1 record?
Renus, post that in the group.
Did Gary? Did Sammy Hagar ever had a #1 record?
I think we should give Paul an extra hour.
5150. 5150 was Sammy's #1.
I think you earned an extra hour, Paul.
No, a single. Did Sammy ever have a #1 record, a #1 song? No. But Extreme did. So
your love is dry. Wasn't #1.
So statistically, Gary Sharon had a bigger record than Sammy Hagar did as a solo artist, or at least as an artist prior to joining Van Halen. Gary Sharon was a bigger artist prior to joining Van Halen than Sammy Hagar was. Fact. Now,
well, if Gary Sharon would have went on a solo tour, there's no way.
No. Gary actually put out.
Oh, he did, huh?
Yeah, he did put it. Gary did put out a solo record under the name Sharon.
Did he?
Yes, he
Sharon.
And it did not do well, shockingly.
Shocking.
But Gary's prior band did Sammy have a #1 record with Montrose? No, he did not. Did he have a #1 record as a solo artist? No, he did not. Did he have a #1 record with HSAS? No, he did not. Gary did. So technically, Gary had more solo success or previous success than Sammy did.
Gary.
Fucking moron.
I have a question in the chat.
Gary.
Metal Mike, Caleb, Music Man or EVH? Which one do you like better? I have reasons that I can't answer that question.
Endorsey.
I like them both. They're different. The Ernie Ball is one of the greatest guitars ever created. So, I mean, that's a fact. But these USA Wolfgangs are right up there. So they're different though. So, but I love them both. How's that?
That was good. That was good.
Thank you.
Good job.
If it wasn't for one, you wouldn't have the other.
True.
Fact.
Yes.
Fact.
Fact. Wait, without the T. Fact.
I will say this. There's times I really dig the neck on the Ernie Ball because it's very small and narrow and you can fly around it. But then it's also a drawback for someone with, hands like mine. So it can feel there's something about having a neck that you're always kind of against it. So
yeah, I prefer wider necks myself.
Yeah.
Answering Craven Soda, the band was called Sinful.
What?
Do you have the album?
No, they didn't put out an album.
They put out a DVD.
DVD. No,
What?
they did a
Vinyl.
demo.
What was the vinyl?
The band
Say
was called
fact.
Sinful.
Sinful.
He's over there getting them to say fact.
Fact.
Oh my god.
Fact.
I'm sure but it'll come out as fact.
Who's the CK guy? What kind of questions is Caleb in a VH cover band? Like what?
No,
Is
it's a
this your
tribute
first
band,
night?
man. It's
Here we
a
go.
tribute, man.
Yeah, we don't
Oh,
do covers.
man.
We're not a cover band. We're a
Palette
tribute.
cleanser, take different taste. different thing completely.
He highlighted
It's really
it. CK is a real guy. I've met him.
no,
Really?
Really? It's not a bot?
To do that, just to
No.
surprise
Carol
the
K.
listener.
That's
He's
the
a real
one we were
dude.
talking- The chick
He
we were
was-
talking
he was
about
on
earlier,
Halenville.
bass player. Carol K.
For the,
So it's
for
a
the
10
record,
out
going to get more beers.
and never escape.
Oh
Jesus,
yeah.
Oh my God.
Keep going. Keep
John,
going.
3 minutes.
Johnny's one of those guys.
Somebody
Yeah,
send
jump
Paul a
out-
cake.
jump out of the third story.
Say Johnny Beane.
Yeah, absolutely 10 out of 10 and never escape.
Oh.
Even
Never
some of his
skip.
good books.
Here we go. Here we go.
This is Black Sabbath channeling West Coast hippies
Oh.
and doing a very bad job. of
Black
it.
Sabbath. Black Sabbath.
How many beers has he had? That's
Yeah, it's getting a little nutty.
18, man.
This is one for me.
Did he just break up with his girl or something? What's going on here?
No, he said he has a date coming up.
Wow.
he said it's hot out.
Nice prep work.
Yeah, I mean,
He's getting his date. His date is tomorrow. He's getting lubed up.
Loose. Getting loose.
Oh gosh.
Getting lubed up for the party.
Can't imagine the headache, man.
Right?
Over there smelling
How
like,
that gonna
I think he knows what he's doing.
smelling like
I hope he
sweat.
knows what he's doing.
No, he's done this once before, remember? But that was like
That was
heavier
liquor.
stuff. And it
That
was
was
really
liquor,
bad.
yeah.
Remember that? Like all of a sudden he was like a different Paul.
Yeah, the one eye.
He's been morphing. He's been very robust tonight, I might say. So
As long as you don't say, oh, never mind. I can't say it.
Look, everyone's giving it 10 out of 10.
Which
Oh,
song,
my
are they-
God.
what song are
Humpty
they talking
Dumpty.
about?
Yeah, well, I must be Humpty
Talking
Dumpty
about-
then.
10 out of 10.
Not to be confused with
What?
Renus Pinkle. That's oh dear, yeah, time out. Yeah,
I don't even know where to go with that now.
I'll give it a 99 out of 100.
CK is
Oh my
He's
gosh.
bringing 3 back. 3.
CK. No worries there.
All right. So, Paul, we ended the show.
Yeah,
No, you
we're
did
off
not.
the air.
No. I can't let him do that.
He's gonna stand up and take it out. No.
The funny thing about it is you guys think I'm fucked up. And I'm just barely buzzed.
Just barely slurring my words.
Can you
I
walk
wish we had-
backwards and touch your nose?
I
Yeah,
wish
I'm
we had
good.
a breathalyzer, man. That's the funnest
No,
game
that's
ever,
the funny
by
part. Legally, I'm
You're coherent. There's a
completely
difference
fucked up.
between coherent and
Say legally again.
drunk.
legally.
Legally.
You are
Wait a minute.
coherent, Paul.
Legally.
Wait a minute. Paul, can you tell us a story real quick?
Oh,
What was it like meeting
Dumb.
Lemmy?
I
for the
thought he
first
was. I thought he was going to a clip of some sort that was going to try and make me look bad.
What did you buy? The 24 pack?
Dang it.
Yeah, I bought a case.
time? Is that a case or is 30 pack a case nowadays?
No, 24. 24 bottles, 30 cans.
Yes.
12. No, 24. Yes, 24 Elsinore beers, please.
do you have 2 recycle bins or 1?
You know, the funny thing about it is recycling is a
The
scam.
toilet and the actual recycle.
It is a scam, but I do it anyway.
No, I try. You get a blue barrel here in Arizona. I don't know what you guys have where you're at.
Yeah.
But we have a blue barrel, and it goes out on a Thursday night. And it's funny because like all these people put their shit out
Thirsty
on every
Thursday.
Wednesday night, and I do mine like every 3 or 4 or 5 weeks. Like I don't know how many people have this much recycling bullshit. 5 weeks.
Yeah, well, these
People
are
have
families of
Like,
4
I
and
don't know
5 and
how many
6.
People have this.
It's
much
you and a dog.
recycling. Now he's going to slow it down to try and make me look like I'm more fucked up than I am.
Yeah, well,
Here it comes.
these
People
are
have
families of
families.
Like
4
I don't
and
know
5 and
how many
6.
people have this.
It's
much
you and a dog.
recycling. Now
You
he's
and a
going to
dog.
slow it down to try and make me look like I'm more fucked up than I am.
This is you and a dog.
We.
Yeah.
can still pick out my own voice over that.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that! It's 12:01.
All right, thanks a lot.
The funny part about it is he thinks it's like I was drinking the Jim Beam that night. Totally different drunk. Beer and Jim Beam, totally different fucked up. When we drank that Jim Beam that night, and I put beer and Jim Beam, totally different fucked up. All right, here we go. All right. When we drank that,
All right, it's been a long time since it's been almost half a year since our drunk show, so we got to get another one up here soon. So
Paul's doing it tonight.
No, I'm not. I'm really not. I get a buzz and I'm good, but I'm not fucked up.
But how many times your bladder must be completely full?
What day's the 4th of July on this year?
Paul's doing it tonight.
Paul is doing it tonight.
I'm really not. I get a buzz and I'm good, but
I'm really not.
I'm not fucked. What up?
Oh, the night before the 4th of July is a Saturday.
Oh,
yeah, it's the 3rd of July. Thank you.
The night before, the day before the 4th.
4th of July.
Well done,
Fourth
Caleb.
of July.
Do we have a drunk show on that night?
I'll tell you what. I
You
challenge
guys
you guys. I'll challenge you to drink 18 beers and see how coherent you are.
I won't even
dude.
try.
I'm going to the hospital.
I'll challenge you to drink 18 beers and see how coherent
That's
you
a drop right there.
I won't
Oh,
even
dude.
try.
Well done. Well done, Johnny.
Dude. Wow. I'm not saying another word.
Yeah, I'm with you. Dude.
Yeah.
I'd be in the hospital. 18 beers.
Why?
That's a bit much for me.
I'd be done.
I think. Well, what's
So y'all don't have parents that are alcoholics.
before? Let's go around the horn and what's the most we've each had to drink?
I got to hear that part slow.
Okay.
I think maybe 10, maybe 12.
Wow.
Most I've had. As far as beers go,
I drank a fifth of vodka in about an hour.
what's
Oh
that?
my God.
Three. How many milliliters is that? That's what's a fifth?
I don't know. It's like that much.
I'd be done.
See, y'all don't have parents that are alcoholics.
Before, let's go around the horn and what's the most we've each had to drink.
Oh my God.
I got to hear that part slow.
That's awesome. Well done.
That's a tired.
What was that? What was that fucking noise?
He's yawning.
10, maybe 12.
Wow. Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you. False flag, man. Enjoyed what you saw, but you had to go to bed.
Yeah. CK, the Jim Beam show is fucking outstanding.
Oh, you had to leave.
Yeah, the first 80% of that bottle went down really good. The last 20% got really sloppy. That was a rough night.
Man.
I remember waking up the next day and my pants were in a sink.
I don't know. It's like
The sock was in his hand.
No, my pants. No, by the way, for you, Jay,
My pants were backwards. Underwear was on my
Jay.
head.
the rag.
Uh-huh.
The rag is in my guitar stand so that it doesn't fuck up the finish on my Les Paul.
watch the Halloween show and you'll see what a lightweight I am. I don't think I made it 2 hours on that fucking show. God.
Dude,
Well, one
drunk
of us never
drunk
used
shows
the
are awesome.
bathroom.
Drunk shows are awesome.
Yeah.
Until the next morning.
Yeah, that's the suck part. That's how you know you're old. Like we were talking earlier about music and how you know it's not for you. That's how you know you're old, when drinking beer was like, oh, it's all good. It's like mouthwash. And then the next morning it feels like somebody woke up with a fucking sneaker in their mouth. It's the worst. And I look forward to feeling that tomorrow afternoon.
Oh.
12:06 Sunday
I hate
morning.
Sunday morning.
He's yawning.
And
Who's yawning?
He was
Oh,
yawning.
Jay.
Yeah, that was
Jay
me.
was
The
yawning?
slow-mo yawn. Yeah.
Credit where credit is due. Jay was done like an hour ago.
Yeah, he's hanging out for the
Thanks
post.
for hanging out there.
Let's
Hanging
go.
out there.
You're a fucking trooper, Jay.
Thanks.
I
The
think
trooper.
Thanks, everybody.
Not 99.
Not everybody.
Cheers, everyone.
Not.
Watch another video.
Not.
Watch
Bet.
last night's video. Watch last night's video.
Hey, Paul. Not.
Whoa.
Not.
No,
Not Jay.
Beer.
John B.
Not Jay.
I'd
Not
like-
John. Not Johnny. Not
I'd like
Biden.
to take this. I'd like to take this time to say good night to
Good night.
Paul's 23 empties.
Here's the fucked up part about it, is I won't stop.
Won't stop.
Oh.
It's like 3 sips is 1 beer.
Good night, 23 empties. Oh, 24 empties.
You never heard about the Boggs record, Paul?
What?
The Boggs record, Wade Boggs?
No.
Oh, dude. We're...
No, it was on. That was Always Sunny in Philadelphia. They did they flew across country, and apparently Wade Boggs on some cross country trip.
Dude, he just went off the air.
Who went off the air?
Boggs had about 50 beers in one cross country trip, so they were trying to beat Boggs' record.
Damn.
Boggs had about 50 beers.
And FU Tone.
Country
Actually,
trip,
this is
so
an FU
they
Tone
were trying to-
locking nut.
50 is a lot. What was that? 50 is a lot of beer.
What the fuck was that?
Last night.
Oh, that's yesterday. That's from yesterday.
Yeah, that was last night's show.
That was last night. I'm sending everybody over to last night's video.
Oh,
great.
But those guys aren't on anymore?
Yeah. No, they're certainly on. Because we raid them every night at midnight.
Do you guys want to go over there?
Yes.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. I've got a blood alcohol level above the legal limit. Let's do it.
Definitely above the legal
Ah.
Definitely.
Okay. All right. 6A.
25.
We got to make sure you guys in the chat, if you guys jump over there, tell them like immediately to recognize us, because it takes them 20 minutes to even recognize us. And that's not how you, it's always a skip.
Tell them to subscribe to the Johnny Van
Zant.
Let this be the moment that everybody recognizes that beer was the one. That was the one. That was the beer. That was the beer. At 12:10 a.m., that was the beer. That was the one that took me over.
From Miami, where he's like, all
right, Johnny Bean Raid. Tell them.
Just takes off in.
Tell them.
Another
Acknowledge.
To me, it reminds me of like a 70s, movie car chase scene.
Acknowledge.
Where they're running with guns.
Jay's over there.
Hey, Greg, I won't puke.
And all that.
DVD. DVD is over there.
DVD.
Talk about the 1999 DVD. Never skip.
For me, it's with the ratings I've given the rest of the songs, I had to give it a 9 out of 10, but it's never a skip.
Never.
We do have a Johnny Bean Raid.
Really?
See,
Yes,
Paul actually made
Robert Master, Kevin Cachell, John BL, Johnny Bean,
Right.
FX, Rico B, Greetings from Arizona, Greetings from North Somerset.
I could do without the sirens.
Awesome, guys. Appreciate the rain. You guys.
Now I'm hearing the start of War Pigs.
Into sound.
Yeah.
You say
Yeah.
that
Johnny had his glory.
Yeah.
Huh? That's not me. They do that. I'm not doing that.
Who's doing this?
They do. Oh, I'm doing the slow. Yeah.
Appreciate it. Thank you guys for rating
Thanks for
us.
dropping
Hit that subscribe button while you're here too, guys. If you haven't already done that, we'd appreciate the subscriptions. And all subs to our channel get an automatic sub back. That's the best we can do for you.
Dude, those guys are
like
fucking smart.
Steak and cheese or an
Morning,
Italian.
Caleb.
Those guys are smart.
How you doing?
The minute we raid
Good.
them, they're like, sub us.
Andrew, do you want to go back and just?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, they're smart.
Well, this went up eight viewers, so that's good.
No, but the minute we raid them, they're like, subscribe to the channel.
Never.
Super smart.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Good talk.
All right.
By the way, Caleb, that EVH Wolfgang is not anywhere near as cool as your EBMM.
Oh.
Just saying.
Wah, wah.
I'm gonna. Whoa.
What, did they all bail out?
No, we've been pitted.
Oh, beef. We have beef.
This is a beef. Yeah, a beef.
We have
lock
beef?
in. We've been
We're
locked
gonna
in
have
for
beef?
beef here.
We're gonna have beef. You want to
We
throw?
got
You want to
beef.
throw some? You want to throw some shade?
No, I'm good.
Yeah, me too.
I never. Okay.
Okay. Hal Face, Johnny Moronic, James Gum, Hillary Lewis, James Nicholas, 802
Thomas
Blues,
Santiago, Video
Mr. BHB
Brian
Jr.,
Spalding,
Bragg,
Pedro,
5150,
Andy
Pal Guitars, Dan Halen,
Music
Frank
Rarely
Corcoran,
Lansel,
Ben Tom, Johnny Bean
PC
TV, but that's at the bottom.
5150
It doesn't matter.
TV,
Jeff
Jimmy
T,
Ray Hawkins,
R2R3 Rocking
Hugh
Nut,
Caldwell,
Fernando
Crosby,
Riley,
Stills,
Robot
and
Master
Fuck
Switch, Chick
Stevens, Ray
71,
Smith,
Rick
Randy
Jones,
Price,
the
Steve
Chad,
Carmichael.
Two Brain Shells, Michael B, Thomas Santiago.
I already read those.
Charles SG. Oh, did you? All right, fuck.
Yeah.
I'm out. Oh, really? Fuck you.
David Sheen, Bozique, Crazy.
Wait. Where, Caleb?
I started on the right side.
Caleb, no, were you starting where? At Jarhead Rock?
No, at the top of the right column. Sorry.
So David Shea Gomery?
Yeah,
That's where you're starting. Where are you going to end?
I don't. I'll end at Wayno.
All right, cool. Charles Green, Fruitcake Tony,
David
Michael Smith,
Shea,
David Ennis,
Montgomery,
Mike Neese,
Bozique,
Richard Poole, Lenny Lou,
Crazy
and Mary,
Cook,
Gargant's
78,
Entertainment,
Carol
5150,
Hatcher,
Johnny B
False
TV,
Flag, Margaret
It's bottom.
Scanton,
Subin
John
Silvestri,
Silas, Trevor
Mickey
Burson,
Settlemeyer, Joe
Jarhead
Christian,
Rock,
Nicole Mrazek,
KXM Rock,
Sean Bolin.
Habs, Will Starr, Steve Franklin, and Wino.
Funny. I'm certain that I have a blood alcohol level higher than you, and I got there first.
You did. But
Yeah, I
you're
did.
You're the professional radio guy.
I'm the professional alcoholic.
Thanks for sharing.
Are we done?
I think so.
Scorching hot picks. What the fuck does that mean?
Don't you remember he's a pick pyro?
New sponsor.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Nice. John Biel, do you want to light a pick to end the show?
Can you
Please.
hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I don't know if you can hear me.
Light a pick.
No.
Come on, do it. Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Come on, do it. Come on, do it now. Come on, let's do it. Do it now.
How about we finish off the show and say thank you to everyone watching and thank you. Have a great week. And
So that's
we'll
a
see you
no?
next time.
That's a no.
No, I
That's
don't have
what
any
that is.
picks or a lighter near me. So never skip.
Greg. What was it? What was it? Gary Bucknoff?
Greg Bucknoff.
No,
Greg
his real name's
Bucknoff.
Greg.
His real name's Greg. I assumed it was Gary.
Oh, fucking end the show. God.
Good night, John.
You realize he's Gary from now on, right?
Yep, Gary.
Gary. Gary.
Never skip.
Gary. And maybe after 2 or 3 listens, you will, because that's really what it is. After a few, I texted Caleb this morning and said, I'm glad I didn't bail.